is a presentation of Flow Sports.
It's a balmy 7 degrees below zero here in Hastings as everyone's bundled up for the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic at Hockey Day, Minnesota. The Milwaukee Admirals and the Iowa Wild on tap for you here on FloHockey. Good evening, hockey fans, and greetings from a frosty Hastings, Minnesota. I'm Ben Gislason, joined by former NHLer and AHLer for today's game.
And AHLer,
Mark
absolutely.
Parrish.
Proud
Mark,
of it.
Indeed, we all are.
Yes.
And proud of this day. What a moment for the Iowa Wild and for the Milwaukee Admirals and for hockey, because it's hockey in its purest form today, isn't it, Mark?
Doesn't get any better than this, Ben. I love it. I'm looking forward to working with you. But, man, just coming in here and the PA announcers, the echo of the outdoor announcer going on and the skates going around, the clanging of the outdoor ice, the nice little chill in the air. This is what we grew up playing this game at, out on the pond. It doesn't get any better.
It looks like a scene from a Hallmark movie, and let's check out exactly how this happened. As incredible growth for Hockey Day in Minnesota, growth here in Hastings as this was erected. It's a beautiful site. There are fire pits. There's places to stay warm, but fans are really excited for the action tonight too, Mark.
Absolutely. United Heroes Lake, they went all out. What an amazing complex they have here. And to see what they have been able to do here is just incredible. As you can see, all the military. You know, thank God we had the military in charge of this. Hockey people would never have been able to get this done this well, this quickly. The United Heroes League, the military, this campus that they have built here is absolutely incredible. As you can see, it's the full arena in the outdoor, which got me excited right away, seeing the stands on the end boards, getting it as much as engulfed as you can, while seeing all the scenery as well, Ben. You got to leave the scenery in there, too.
Incredible scenery. Looks like a snow globe. And there are plenty of players in today's game for both Milwaukee and for Iowa. They have played in outdoor games before, maybe not quite like this one, but the FloHockey content team caught up with some of Iowa's players to talk about some frozen memories. With the frozen memories, we'll try to squeeze that in later on in the show.
But it's live TV.
Live TV, indeed. The good news is we've got a third member of our team. The bad news is we're taking off layers up here. We've got a heated press box, unfortunately, for Robert Babiak, or the other Babs, who is down rinkside. Things are a little chillier for Robert. Robert, let's check in down beside the rink.
Hi everyone, I'm Babs. I went from yapping about the AHL on social media to making my broadcasting debut today at what's probably one of the coldest professional hockey games ever played. Talk about throwing me to the fire, guys. Well, I don't think that technically works too well in this situation, but I'll be ringside today giving you guys an inside look and talking to some of the coaches and the players as we get active in today's very, very cold game while I wear more layers than Randy from A Christmas Story. Back up to you guys.
Randy from A Christmas Story. Now there's an image, isn't it?
Perfect. It literally just paints the picture right for you right there. And he's pulling it off. Those pants he's got, those are sharp pants.
They're dynamite. Some great plaid. And so that's Robert Babiak. He'll be with us all game long, skittering around the grounds here to show us more. A little bit about the Hockey Day history, though, Mark. You were involved 20 years ago.
Oh, my Lord.
Baudette, Minnesota was where it started, but it's really sprawled into an incredible, not only day event, but a week-long event.
Incredible. Truly has. I love the way that it has grown into this whole weekend, because we need a week to celebrate hockey in Minnesota, especially outdoor hockey. And what I love about it is being able to look back 20 years ago when I did sign with the Wild, and I walked out there and everybody was like, oh, are you so happy for this Hockey Day in Minnesota? You're so excited. And I thought I took too many hits to the head and couldn't remember what Hockey Day was. Little known, I was lucky enough to open it up for the Wild and have that very first Hockey Day. Seeing what it's become, seeing where it's gone, it's just become such a special holiday for this state.
Well, the Wild are involved, there's college hockey involved, and there's high school hockey involved, and actually a few players on the ice tonight have played in those outdoor high school games. We are ready to check in with a few Wild players who've played outdoors before.
Anytime you get to play a game outdoors, it's a really special moment, really cool experience. That's kind of where it all started growing up, was skating outside and kind of finding the love for the game.
Hockey Day in Minnesota is a well-known thing. Even if you're not from there, you know what it is and you know kind of how it works.
Ever since I've been a little kid, grew up watching Hockey Day Minnesota. It's been a huge part of my childhood and my life. Always wanting to someday play in Hockey Day and play outdoors, but never really getting the chance until now, so I'm really excited.
In high school, I played Hockey Day Minnesota. It was a really, really cool experience. The way they were able to build the rink down there, and you know, they kind of had the bleachers into the hills. Probably one of the coolest games I've ever played in. Just kind of the buzz around the event, the buzz in the city leading up to it. It's a really special day, and obviously it's the one day of the year that all eyes are on hockey, so to be a part of that is super cool.
We have a lot of guys from Minnesota on our team, so there's going to be a ton of pride there.
Growing up in Minnesota it's obviously, you know, the state of hockey. In my town at least, that's what kids did was go play hockey.
It's kind of going back to your roots of just going outside, throwing the puck on the ice and having fun with your teammates.
I mean, the outdoor rink is just such a big part of my childhood. No coaches, no one telling you what to do, just having fun. Not even working on things, you're just playing, having fun, probably getting so much better that way.
To be able to play an outdoor game, you know, at this level, it'll be a really cool experience.
The fans are going to be able to be even closer than they would in a normal stadium, so they'll get to see the speed of the game and how fast things happen out there. So I think it's going to be really cool for both sides of it, the fans and the players.
It's a lot to look forward to. It's going to be special. It'll give us maybe a boost of morale and something to, you know, we want to be at our best for that game.
It can definitely help change the morale in the locker room. Yeah, hopefully it can help springboard us forward.
Good play, though. Good play.
To be representing Minnesota in a great state of hockey, it's just cool that we get to play a real game and not an exhibition game outside. And so it means a little something, and I'm sure it's going to get a little chippy, and it just adds to the fun.
The experience and the buzz around the whole event, I think will just elevate emotions in guys. There's a lot of build-up, there's a lot of family coming in and all that stuff, so you know, once the game starts, I expect it to be a loud, a really cool atmosphere, and cold, probably.
Despite the glacial temps here in Hastings, tons to smile about this evening, and we also have a hockey game to talk about, not just the festivities and all the pomp and circumstance, but it is an AHL sanctioned game between Milwaukee and Iowa. When we come back from this first break, we'll get you all you need to know about the Wild and the Admirals here at the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic at Hockey Day, Minnesota. We're just getting started.
This was all done this week. Probably.
Oh, I broke this. But, personally, I don't think bad luck is real, so I wouldn't worry.
You wouldn't happen to have a first aid kit, would you?
Do you have a fire extinguisher? What if you guys... let me just slide that right in there. Bad luck isn't real.
We're here when you need us. That's why West Shore is America's most trusted home remodeler.
How's it going?
West Shore Home. Remodeling reimagined.
We at Carol's Corn are proud to announce that we are the official gourmet popcorn of the Iowa Wild. Receive 15% off your first order when you use promo code IowaWild15. Let's go Wild!
Over the last several years, we've been growing our Community Rinks program in local communities. What the program provides is really an opportunity for these communities to bring out kids and families and allow them to skate and play hockey on local rinks for free.
Crash Course is a Try Hockey for Free program. It's just an opportunity to learn the sport for the first time and learn the fundamentals of hockey. Every single time the kids get off the ice, they're always fist bumping and saying how much fun they had and they don't want to leave.
On our way towards puck drop here in Hastings as the temperature is stabilizing at 7 below.
Stabilizing? Yeah, that's a good word for it. Stabilizing.
Yeah, Ben Gislason with Mark Parrish. It's great to be with you here this evening, set for what should be a spectacle of a hockey game here outdoors between the Iowa Wild and the Milwaukee Admirals. It is an AHL sanctioned game. We want to set the stage, but we also need to look around the league a little bit as it's our co-locate out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Co-Locate Movers. And the Wild will take on the Admirals tonight, but there are plenty of other games in the American Hockey League. And instead of the highlights, or instead of the standings, let's actually go to the highlights first, as we're going to head to Grand Rapids, where the Milwaukee Admirals and the Grand Rapids Griffins were in a hockey game a couple of days ago. It was a Wednesday evening affair, and Mark, you've got experience in the American Hockey League. It's so challenging when you have a ton of movement, something that the Admirals have dealt with, the Wild have dealt with. Admirals coming off of a loss in Grand Rapids, 2 of them actually, where they didn't score a goal. What's on their minds ahead of this game tonight?
You know, right now they want to get into the game right away. Obviously, first and foremost, get that first goal. But when you get on the losing streaks, the American League, it's pro hockey. It's not nice to you. It's going to kick you. It's going to make it harder and harder and harder until you're finally able to kind of break loose of that. So right now, both of these teams are going to be looking to just get out there and set the tone, get into their game, get off to a good start, get that first goal. Whenever you're kind of struggling and things aren't going your way, you definitely want to get out there and set that tone. Get that first goal. Find that good feeling on that bench. Create that good feeling. Somebody step up and be the leader.
It's an Admirals team that has lost 3 in a row. The Wild, meanwhile, have lost 8 in a row. They're still searching for their first win in 2026. They fell in what was a thrilling contest on Wednesday night in Des Moines, 5-4. They jumped out to an early lead, but the Stars would score 3 unanswered in the second period on way to that victory. Mark, I'm sure, and I hate to bring it up, you've been a part of long losing streaks before. When you finally get over that hump, what does it feel like?
It's a shot in the arm. It's just the adrenaline. All of a sudden, there's a belief in the room, and that's what you need most important in that locker room is you need belief. And it starts to waver. The confidence is a fickle thing. It's a fragile thing. We don't like to admit it when we're playing. It's fragile, but it is. And so if you can find a way to gain that confidence, and they did a great job that last game, obviously. They're getting closer, getting better. A lot of good things are happening. And that's what you got to focus on. You focus on the process. Eventually, the results will come.
Well, let's narrow our focus even more in, as that's Mark and I's view on the Admirals and the Wild. The guys who know these teams best, Carl Taylor, head coach of Milwaukee, and then Greg Cronin, a guy I know you want to talk a lot about tonight as a former coach of yours of the Iowa Wild. We caught up with both coaches earlier today to talk about this festivity tonight. Carl, what a unique experience for your team today and a unique experience for you. What's been the message to the group ahead of this game, and what's the buzz been like?
We're excited. You know, we had, just like you guys, we had some tough travel getting here, but yesterday was a great day. Really enjoyed the practice and skating on the trail in the woods and all that kind of stuff. Guys had a blast. And we're fortunate. We've been in lots of different scenarios. Cal chasing like the most 1,000 games and then points. We've had lots of elimination games in playoffs where you have those uneasy feelings, and we kind of talked about that today a little bit because, you know, we want to win, and both teams are trying to find their game here, so it should be a competitive game. Both teams are going to try to win, but I asked the guys to draw on some of their experience in those games, like how do you manage enjoying the experience, enjoying what's going on, but also playing well and executing. So that's kind of what we talked about, and we do have 8 rookies, so those guys are going through it for the first time, but we expect our older guys to guide them through it, obviously.
What are the tips and tricks that your group has, whether it's you on the bench or for the players, to try to keep things as warm as humanly possible? I know that's not a word that's going to be used very often today.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really cold. I just think everyone's going to be really cold, and so we're just trying to play the game. There's no way to make the weather change, right? So it sounds like the wind's dying down a little bit, so that'll be great. But it's going to be a great experience for everyone, for both teams, both coaching staffs, and it's trying to get the most out of the game possible for everyone on your roster to enjoy the experience, but also get a result. Both teams want to win. So for us, you know, we've all done the work with the underwear and the long underwear and the hot shots and the hand warmers and all the different things everyone's going to try. And obviously the equipment trainers on both teams have been working extremely hard and very ragged, and they're always the unsung soldiers of this operation that we run in hockey. So they've been very busy, and we appreciate what both trainers on both teams have done to try to get the teams ready for this opportunity.
Lastly, Carl, both teams would love this game to be a springboard towards more wins. Is this an opportunity to get some good mojo going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, I don't think you can hang it on this game because it's just one of those games. It's going to be really cold. It's probably a one-goal game, right? Like typically, these outdoor games are low scoring. I know the one in Florida was high scoring, but that's Florida, and we are not in Florida. So we're not going to hang too much on it, obviously. It's a huge weekend for both teams. Both teams are trying to find their game and get more wins, like you said. We're trying to execute and get our game to a level that it doesn't matter who we play. We've had lots of games against GR recently. We played them fairly hard. So that's a big piece of pie to chew on, but we don't look at Iowa any different. And we're a 500 hockey team, so we're average. We're trying not to coach average, we're trying not to perform average, and we're trying to get everyone going in an above average direction. So hopefully this day can do it, but we definitely want to look around and enjoy the events as well.
Greg, there's a lot of novelty to a game like this. It's a spectacle, to say the least. The buzz around this game for your team, what's it been like?
Yeah, they're excited. It's a little bit like Christmas morning, right? You don't know what you get as far as like the presence and the excitement and the energy. The weather's certainly a narrative with the group. I don't think I've ever been involved in any activity when it's this cold outside. So I got to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous, right? So like yesterday we went out and practiced and it was 8 degrees out and my whistle froze up, my jaw froze up. I had a hard time talking and my whistle stopped working. So I had to have Ben and Nate do the whistling. Then Nate's whistle froze up and his lips got stuck to the metal whistle. He didn't have a rubber stopper on it. So that's the audience, the listeners, that's how cold it is. And today's going to be 10 degrees colder. So my first thought is I hope the players, can stay warm and feel comfortable. I really embrace the whole, like, what you can do thing, the controllables, but I don't know if I'd block a shot today. It's that cold, so it'll be interesting.
In regards to your message to the team, obviously you want to capture this moment, but you want to play the right way too. What have you told your team ahead of this game?
I just told them that in the meeting earlier. Like it doesn't matter if it's indoors, outdoors, in front of 200 people, 20,000 people. We got to focus on how we play. We did a lot of really good things last game, and I want to build off of that. I think we had, again, we scored 4 goals. We're not an offensive team. We don't have a lot of players here. It's like the guys that like the Joneses and the Heights and the Kubels and the Pitlicks and that group that would score, but. I thought they played, an offensive game, and I thought we were really stingy defensively. So, saying that, even though we got whatever the empty net goal, but 5 goals against us, I thought we played a good game, and I want to build off of that.
Lastly, does a game like this in a season that has obviously gone the wrong direction in many respects have an opportunity to lift this team a little bit?
Yeah, and I think, we keep saying this. The division is interesting because 5 teams make the playoffs, right? And it looks like we're climbing Mount Everest, right? We're so far back, but we just got to take one step at a time and just try and get closer and closer to the teams ahead of us. And it starts today. And it started against Texas. I thought we had it going there, and we've talked about this. I mean, how many 1-goal games have we lost? And it just proves that we can win. We just got to start stringing some wins together.
Well, Greg Cronin and Carl Taylor with plenty to unpack from a couple of very candor-laden interviews there. And you know Greg Cronin very well from not only time when you represented the United States of America, but your time on Long Island. And he is 100% real ingredients, isn't he?
I love it. That interview was so Crow. It's like listen to my grandpa tell bedtime stories again. We go back so far, Crow, the World Juniors in Switzerland and then Long Island with the Islanders. And I love that Matty Hendrickson, we brought Greg Cronin into the Iowa Wild to develop hockey players, because I am case in point. He is a spectacular developer of hockey players. I don't know if he's going to claim me, but I'm claiming him. I don't know about that.
Greg Cronin, knows this guy awfully well, had some time catching up. It was fun to listen to you guys swap some stories yesterday here at the skate, and that's down rinkside. The ice was great yesterday, reportedly, from both teams, catching up with Carl Taylor and Greg Cronin about the ice conditions. And the reason for those great ice conditions, Kyle Gillespie with Rink Tech, who is standing by with Robert Babiak.
Yeah, we've got a rink expert here today. I've been wondering all day long, how does this get prepared? So when did you guys start getting ready to get this sheet of ice ready for today's game?
It actually goes back about 3 years. Shane Udell, this was nothing but a field 3 years ago in 2023. And his vision was to build the United Heroes League outdoor ice arena for military families and for people in this community. So we actually built this refrigeration system and floor in 2023 with the vision of having Hockey Day Minnesota 2026, and that dream became a reality, and now tonight we're having an AHL game on his ice sheet.
It's an awesome story. With how cold it is out there right now, what impact does that actually have on the ice for the players today?
That's a great question, Robert. It's actually a concrete slab. It's like any rink you'd walk into that's indoor. The Minnesota Wild practice facility, for instance, or one of a community rinks that are nationwide. We actually have a fluid that goes through the floor system. It typically runs at 16 to 17 degrees, but because of the cold temperatures, we're actually not chilling the fluid, we're heating the fluid. So we have actually boilers on the piping system where it goes back into the floor, and we're actually heating that fluid to actually 17, 18, 23, 25 degrees, depending on the outdoor temperature. So even though it was minus 15, minus 20 this morning, the floor temperature was actually at 5 degrees. And when the sun came out, it helps, and then we're resurfacing and putting load on the floor, up come the temperatures so we can have a good game tonight.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because of the weather here today. There's a lot of factors that go into getting the ice ready. But a lot of people in hockey have been talking about the Olympics and the ice there. How much harder is it out here compared to getting ice set? So how does it compare the indoor to the outdoor situation here?
Well, we've had 3 years to prepare, and this is something we do. You know, I build most rinks in the state of Minnesota and probably half, or maybe just under half the rinks in the United States for new facilities, whether it's the AHL, NHL, municipal rinks, curling clubs. The Olympics, that's a different subject because depending where they're at, they use different people. I have people that actually should be here that are over helping with the Olympics that are typically at Hockey Day Minnesota, and the key to that is they actually put mat systems or temp systems in some of the existing buildings because they're beautiful buildings, but they're not built for rinks. So some of those issues, that'll all go away by the time they drop the puck at the Olympics. But they've got good people over there from Canada and the United States helping with the Italians and the other people from around Europe to make sure that it goes well.
Well, we've got a beautiful game coming, guys, so make sure to stay tuned. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Robert, for that. And interesting, you didn't think, I certainly didn't think, that heating the ice was going to be on my bingo card for the discussion tonight, but here we are.
Kind of blew my mind there. I was like, wait, excuse me? I thought you just wanted to get as cold as possible, and the ice got better as it got colder. I didn't know there was actually kind of a set temp we needed to find, but of course, Kyle's nailing it down there like he always does.
Thanks to Robert Babiak for that. He'll be with us all night long, working his way around here from Hastings, Minnesota. It's the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic at Hockey Day, Minnesota. We're gearing up to drop the puck between the Admirals and the Wild next.
For over 40 years, we've produced the sauces and seasonings that America loves to eat from right here in America's heartland. We're a business with small-town values that values gathering family in the kitchen to cook and gather around the table to enjoy a home-cooked meal. We pride ourselves on producing premium products with high-quality ingredients that make all of your favorite foods taste better. We are Cookies Food Products from Wall Lake, Iowa, and from our family to yours, we'd like to thank you for putting our sauces and seasonings on your family table.
We at Carol's Corn are proud to announce that we are the official gourmet popcorn of the Iowa Wild. Receive 15% off your first order when you use promo code IowaWild15. Let's go Wild!
Let's get
The Iowa Wild has something for everyone.
Tickets to a Wild game are more than just tickets to a hockey game. It's an unforgettable experience. Join our family today.
And welcome back to Hastings as we continue to tiptoe our way closer to puck drop. And it's an American Hockey League game, so there are other American Hockey League scores that we want to address here tonight. But first, Mark, your time in the American League was brief. That's a good thing. Lots of NHL time. When you think about the American Hockey League, what comes to mind for you?
The thing that blew my mind about the American League, impressed me most about the American League, was the amount of players that were capable of playing in the NHL at that moment. It really was amazing to me, the skill, the talent, the work ethic that all these young players have that are really ready to just, all they need is that opportunity at the big leagues, and they're going to be ready to take advantage of it. And I was just so impressed with that, and it's just gotten better since my days. Now these guys are way more skilled than we were back in the day.
It's a terrific level of hockey as we're able to look at some scores from around the American Hockey League that are getting started. We'll be one of the first to cast off here at 5 p.m. Central Time. But are there teams and places on that list that bring back memories for you, Mark?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the Bridgeport Islanders right there with the Islanders. I signed with them after my NHL career was over for a little bit. But then I always loved Providence. And I'm telling you, Hershey, one of my favorite towns ever.
It's
Hershey,
a spectacular place, isn't it?
Such a cool venue. Everything, the whole town is behind it. The Hartford Wolfpack, spent some time up there. Absolutely love it. Charlotte, that's a beautiful town. I always think Toronto's a little bit spoiled being right there in Toronto with their big club. I mean, where's the game day flight to after when you get called up?
As we take a peek at the forward lines for the Milwaukee Admirals tonight, taking on the Iowa Wild. Any guys that jump off the page to you there, Mark?
Well, that Ryder Rolston kid, because last time I saw him, he was playing drums at his dad's house here when Brian and I were teammates of the Wild, so I cannot wait to see him play. And, of course, I love the Kevin Gravel, my Husky boy right there, stepping up. I see he's got the C on him even, and that's off very well-earned. Awfully warranted. He's a great guy, great leader. Love seeing him still kicking around, teaching these young guys.
St. Cloud State Huskies look out for each other, don't they, Mark?
Always.
As we'll head to the other side of the ice, and we'll see some forward lines for the Iowa Wild. They do get some reinforcements back from St. Paul. Ben Jones returns, Nick Obey-Cubell returns, as well as Hunter Haight back into the lineup for the Iowa Wild. That'll be a key factor for this team. We'll talk about just how many transactions this club has had throughout the course of the season later. And on the blue line, Matt Kierstead is the guy that I think a lot of people have circled, and I think you have as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also looking forward to him watch play. I played softball with his old man. I watched Matty Kierstead grow up as a young man, and it's fun to watch all these kids now professional. That makes me really old, doesn't it, Ben? They were just kids.
I didn't say
it. They still are.
I didn't say it. The Milwaukee goalie in this evening's matchup is one that has given the Iowa Wild fits. It is Matt Murray. No, not that Matt Murray that you're thinking about. But in his American League career, he's 11-5 against the Wild. He has 5 shutouts against Iowa in that time. He's a tough cookie to crack.
He feels awfully good against the Wild right now. They got to do a good job getting in front of him, getting in his eyes, make it as hard as possible on him.
On the other side, Samuel Halavai, who will be representing his native country of Slovakia in Italy at the Olympics. What a moment.
What an amazing moment for the young man. I mean, it's one thing to play pro hockey. It's a whole different ball game to represent your country at the Olympics. I was lucky enough to do both. And let me tell you, that is something you get to hold on to for life.
Well, there's plenty to discuss before we get ready for puck drop here. And one thing I wanted to touch on with you, Mark, you're very familiar with the United Heroes League and all that they do. There are so many different, whether it's pro hockey players, pro baseball players, with Minnesota ties or not, that are tied into the United Heroes League. Speak to exactly not only what they've done here for this day, but in general what they're doing for a ton of military families.
Shane Hudell has done just an amazing job. I remember, I don't know how many years ago, you'd have to ask, 20-some years ago when this started, and it all just started to take care of the military families, take care of their kids, being able to give them hockey equipment, give them a chance to play hockey. And it started as defending the blue line, actually, back in the day. But Shane did such a good job with it that the Minnesota Twins jumped on, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and everybody, all the pro sports have jumped on, hence the United Heroes League. And it has just become such a wonderful beast that he has created for himself because of the way he is able to help all these military families, help those that coming back from serving, coming from protecting our freedom, and then you make sure we take care of their families. I absolutely adore this program. I love the Houdelas, and I love what they do.
We'll have their Chief Development Officer as well, Jeff Tafe, and former NHLer, joining us later on in the show. Got some great guests lined up here for our show tonight. We're going to toss to one more break, and when we come back, we'll drop the puck between the Wild and the Admirals here on FloHockey.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
We at Carroll's Corn are proud to announce that we are the official promo code Iowa Wild 15. Let's go Wild!
The Iowa Wild experience means meeting NHL stars before they're stars.
It's great at events like this, getting to meet the players. My son really enjoys getting to meet everybody and getting to know the players on and off the ice.
I love being able to meet with the players at different events and just get to know everybody on a personal level.
Get up close and personal with the next generation of NHL talent by heading to iowawild.com today.
Now as the sun sets here at Hastings, the site for the United Heroes League Hockey Day Minnesota action, as we've got some cowbells behind us. Ben Gislason and Mark Parrish getting set to sing you through the evening here on FloHockey, the rest of our FloHockey crew. It's going to be a wonderful night. It is brisk, it is chilly. We're waiting for puck drop because it might be officially the coldest outdoor pro game in hockey history. If it hits at minus 5.7 is the mark. 2022 outdoor game in the National Hockey League is the mark, so we'll have to wait and see if we make history tonight, Mark.
I'm glad to be proud of it, and I'm glad to be in here, more than anything.
Well, the teams are hitting the ice below us here on FloHockey, and look at those uniforms, too, for the Iowa Wild. Both the Admirals and Milwaukee did an outstanding job of really throwing back and recognizing and honoring the history of both of their organizations, and they look like throwbacks, don't they?
That's great. Again, all the uniforms they get, the pageantry for today, everything. It just, again, I'm so jealous of all of this. I would love to be out there on the ice playing these games like these with these kids. You know, and the fun part is it mixes it up for these guys. For pro sports, it can get a little redundant. It can get a little bit of a long season. When you mix it up and get the kids out here, you go skate with the family, bring the family, you get everybody involved. It just brings an added level and enthusiasm to the kids, to those guys playing out there for the Iowa Wild and for the Milwaukee Admirals.
Well, let's talk about the fan base, too. I think we were all wondering with these frigid temperatures, would people show up? Well, I think as we look around, as I take a peek out of our perch here, to our right, to our left, lots of folks in, and I see lots of blaze orange, no surprise in the state of Minnesota, as fans have showed up in droves. I actually heard earlier today a local tap house in Hastings was loaded with Iowa Wild gear. Pretty special.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah, so the fan base, players, broadcasters are all bundled up here at Shields Rink in Hastings, Minnesota for the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic here at Hockey Day in Minnesota. The big marquee day is tomorrow here for Hockey Day, but a little preamble, an appetizer, if you will, for the American Hockey League. It's the Iowa Wild and the Milwaukee Admirals as we're preparing for some pageantry here. I'll be curious, too, how these types of conditions will impact vocalists, will impact the national anthem. I mean, these are people that aren't used to singing, and no one's used to doing anything in conditions like this, but I'm curious how the vocal cords will hold up here for this.
Enunciate, that's for sure.
And so the colors will make their way out here from what really is a picturesque looking evening here from Hastings. And obviously, military so key and so involved with the United Heroes League, so I'm sure they have a wonderful stage in store for us here this evening as the sun continues to make its way down here. And talking with Shane Hudella here, he's someone that has done such an excellent job, and he's been one of the main points of contact for this entire thing. He's the busiest guy in Hastings, maybe even in the state right now. It's incredible.
He has been running around with the chicken with his head cut off, but he has been pulling everything off.
All right, with that, John DeCosme.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nothing like John DeCosmaker, the, of course, Star-Spangled Banner voice of the Minnesota Wild, here for their American League Affiliates outdoor game, the first in Iowa Wild history. Pretty special here. And there's a look at Matt Kierstead, one of the alternate captains for this Wild team as Iowa prepares for battle with the Admirals. This season series so far, 2-0. The Admirals have the lead. They'll play 8 eventual times, a 7-2 victory and a 3-0 victory in Milwaukee. This is technically the first home game of the series for Iowa.
Technically home game in Minnesota. I love it. I love it. Hey, you know, you're looking for a little bit of something to break it up. You go 0-2. You mix it up. Throw it outdoors on them. Throw a wrinkle into the Milwaukee Admirals' heads a little bit.
Well, playing outdoors, there are so many tips and tricks. I've been told the benches are extremely warm, so no surprise, Shane Hudella doing an outstanding job at keeping things heated up. And with that, speaking of outstanding, doesn't get much better. Master Sergeant Jerry Milan, who is here to drop the ceremonial puck drop here tonight. 20 years in the United States Army, 18 of those in the Army Special Forces, with 7 deployments to Afghanistan. And really just speechless when you list off all those accolades.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Freedom isn't free, and thank God for people like that, man.
Well said. So that's Ben Jones, the captain, and Kevin Gravel as all the preamble. Looks like we're set to turn the page to Chapter 1 here in Hastings. Ben Gislason with Mark Parrish. We'll have Robert Babiak chiming in throughout the course of our night as well. The rest of the FloHockey team getting set for puck drop here. Look at the Wild bench, and just look at the breath coming out of all these players as we take a look over the years at this Wild and Admirals series. I talked about it, 2-0 Milwaukee currently with the series lead. And 1920 is a year that the Iowa Wild will never forget. They were number 4 in the AHL that year. Milwaukee was number 1 that year. The COVID pandemic ending the season early. I remember talking with then head coach Tim Army at the time. He said we were chasing down Milwaukee. We were chasing down Milwaukee. It's all they had in their minds. It was a special season for the Iowa Wild and for the Milwaukee Admirals that we never got to quite see the finish of.
Yeah, it was a tough year for everybody involved in that, and that was certainly one of the frustrations felt in pro hockey, especially at this league. The development, the American League is more of a development league. You focus on that a little bit more. You really feel like you're losing out on the development of these young hockey players.
With that, we're set to jet here on Friday night for the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic here at Hockey Day, Minnesota. What a moment that's ahead of us, as the Wild will be in white and green, attacking left to right, while the Admirals will go right to left here in Hastings. Just drink it in. Outdoor hockey is underway. On the entry early is Joachim Kimmel. Strong Finnish skater for these Admirals. Tie up along the far wall here as the Wild try to pull the puck and look for an exit out of their own zone. To the line it goes. Wrist shot comes in early from Zach LaRue. It's gloved away by Samuel Halavai, no surprise, sporting the stocking cap over his mask tonight. No stocking cap at the other end, though, for Matt Murray as Halavai squeezes another one.
I kind of feel like we're losing out there, Matt Murray. Like that's like a traditional outdoor hockey look. Are we getting cheated that one goalie isn't wearing a stocking hat on his helmet? I love the look, all of it. The pageantry these days are just so much fun, Ben.
Well, Samuel Halavai is, as we touched on in the pregame show, set to represent Slovakia at the Olympics. One of 2 Iowa Wild players on the roster, though David Spacek is not here, that will represent their countries over in Italy. What an incredible honor for Halavai that I know he is ecstatic about.
And I was a little disappointed David Spacek got pulled up because I played as a rookie with Jaro Spacek in Florida. His dad was a spectacular hockey player and a great guy. Good for him to get a chance up the Wild.
880 National Hockey League games is now the look in front. Nick Gobey-Cubel tried to dish it off as he had Riley Heidt, but Heidt was just a second late.
And you can kind of see it's a little tentative, and I'm not surprised. It gets a little cold, it's a little chilly, the fingers, everything kind of hurts, the hands. It takes a little bit to warm up, not just from warm-ups, but just to get all your hands, get your feet, get feeling the puck, and get into the game, and then we'll see the intensity and the hitting picked up.
What's your over-under on shot blocks here tonight?
0. Crow nailed it. I would be horrified to take it. If you get one of the ankle, oh my Lord, around the laces.
Oh, shouldn't be too bad in the glove of Halavai that was ready for that shot. He's 4-9-3 this season with a 3.44 goals against, an 8.80 save percentage, and there's a little shove from DJ King. I'm not sure if we'll see too much more blood boiling than that. I certainly don't think anybody wants to drop the gloves in this weather.
No, I would doubt it. I commend anyone that would, but oof.
Jack Peart, one of the native Minnesotans playing in this game from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Jordan Osterley, who's been a part of 5 different outdoor games, launches one in for Milwaukee.
Lucky? Didn't even get one. Boy, you know, you talk about the weather, how cold it is.
Mayhew centers, Dylan Gambrell off the pads there of Matt Murray. Jerry Mayhew got the look.
And as I was saying, I apologize. I haven't seen a slap shot either. Guys, there's a lot of things you're going to be hesitant to because your hands are frozen. It hurts.
Mentioned Mayhew. Jerry, officially the all-time leading point scorer in Iowa Wild franchise history. His 200th career point on Wednesday night against the Texas Stars. What a moment that was for arguably the best player to ever wear an Iowa Wild uniform.
What an incredible honor. No matter the league, no matter the team, that is an incredible honor.
Navrin Mutter out through center here early on at the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic as a part of Hockey Day Minnesota here in Hastings. Ben Gislason with Mark Parrish providing the tones of the evening as Jean-Luc Foudy zips one off the pads of Matt Murray, scooped up by Andreas England of Milwaukee. He can't get it clear. Second effort comes from Jake Lucchini. He links up with LaRue, who's right in, and a save by Halavai.
Great job, Halavai. Just squaring right up to LaRue there. He gave him absolutely nothing.
LaRue, the first-round pick of the Predators back in 2021. Skated in 62 games with Nashville last year. Had an injury early in the year that sent him back to Milwaukee. He's been working his way trying to get back into the National Hockey League.
That's the beauty of this league, is you get to do that development. The injuries, you come back from injuries. We all deal with them.
Merrick looking near side. There's a rebound. Murray's able to ward both of those off. Osterley scoops it up and scoots it ahead for LaRue. He'll filter one to neutral ice. Picked up by Joachim Kemmel. Slices his way across the blue line. Puck won't behave for him. Now Ryan Sandelin, his third outdoor game. Gets it back in the high slot. A wrist shot that's parried away as well by Murray.
Very safe game, Ben. Very safe. Not surprisingly in this weather, but very smart, simple hockey early.
Out of the corner, Reed Schaefer. Another first-round pick. Can't get it to the net front. Iowa trying to counter here with Nick Gobey-Cubel. Riley Heidt steers his way across the line. Gobey-Cubel back for Heidt. Heidt swoops in behind the net. He'll cycle it for the captain, Ben Jones. Now for height, he centers, it's Aubé-Kubel, and there's a save from Murray. His best of the hockey game so far. A good old-fashioned cycle game there, Mark, that sets up a chance.
We talk about set the Tombe. That's what we're looking for. I was waiting for one of these teams to get a forecheck going, get a cycling going. It was nice that the Iowa Wild was able to come up with that play. And look how quickly it created a scoring chance. Aubé-Kubel coming right down Main Street. Beautiful save by the goaltender, by the Admirals goaltender there.
Hunter Haight and Dylan Gambrell with Jerry Mayhew up front for the Wild. As they lose the draw, that allows Ryder Rolston to skim his way in.
Wonder if he's got the slap shot like his old man did.
Not sure anybody has the slap shot like his old man did,
Great
huh?
point. There wasn't many. As elite as it comes.
And the slap shot in the shootout was what I remember him most.
I wish I had a slap shot just to do that, because I think it's so cool when they did it. But I did, yeah. There's a reason you never saw me show a slap shot goal. Good luck finding it.
Well, we do have the game's first penalty.
Some you talked about early on. Milwaukee takes penalties.
They average the second most per game in the American Hockey League. Iowa's power play has been strong as of late as well. Milwaukee will be headed a man down here early in our night. Delayed penalty means the Wild will have some time to work 6-on-5 here with their net empty.
And this is where the game has changed so much more since I played. The 6-on-5, taking it back, taking their time, resetting the 6-on-5. It was a little bit different when we played. We were trying to get it in there and get it set up, just get a goal as fast as possible. Now they just take their time. They have so much more poise and patience.
By the way, the referees tonight, Stephen Hiff and Mike Dietrich are your refs. John Watson and Matt Heinen are your linesmen, as David Edstrom will skate to the sin bin here for the Admirals. And the Wild power play that has been just a shade under 28% over their last 15 games. Granted, on the year, they're 16.2%, heading in the right direction. They are trying to get back to those scoring ways, as they're 1 for their last 10 over the last 3 games.
Yeah. Simplify, get a puck to the net, establish that shot. Cronin, Benny, Simon, those guys down there on that bench know what they're doing.
Ben Simon is the architect behind this power play, assistant coach for the Wild.
Former teammate of mine, 96 World Juniors.
And an all-around
great,
terrific human being, as we were just talking about before the show.
Yes, all I remember him in Switzerland was just smiling. Just smiling. He was the happiest guy. It was awesome.
Nothing's changed. As a puck bounces out of play here. 1:41 to go in the power play. And at the pregame meal this morning, Mark, talking with some of the players, and they were all joking. There almost needed to be an agreement between Milwaukee and Iowa. Keep pucks in play as much as possible. They don't want stoppages. No one wants them.
You want to keep moving. You want to stay warm. The stoppages, that's when you start to freeze. Absolutely. Well, and you can even see the goalies already playing the puck right away, where they maybe take a whistle. They're going to play the puck, giving their teammates' toes a chance.
Gleason striding out from behind his own net. Dylan Gambrell will zip one around the end wall, where waiting for it is Ryan Upko, one of the best defensemen you'll see in the AHL. And a clear here from LaRue.
I've been very much looking to get some eyes on that Upko. Heard a lot about him.
37 points, has him 6th in the entire league, forwards and defensemen in scoring.
That's impressive.
Jones trampling in. His pass is out of the reach of Caden Bankier. Now Kierstead backpedaling into his own zone. 55 to go in the power play.
A little bit too cautious. You know, like I said, you want to establish that shot. You gotta have some intensity, getting that puck get into the zone, and really got to work to establish that shot.
Now the Swedish Oskar Olausson, 4 goals in his last 4 games. However, the Wild power play having a little bit of trouble here getting set up, but this one's back down behind the Slovakian Horavai. Nick Aubé-Kubel. Across the blue line, where Bankier swings one towards the net front. Jake Lucchini's chasing it down instead, short-handed for Milwaukee. Thunder's in behind the net with 13 to go in the first man advantage of the hockey game.
Pretty good kill from Milwaukee. I mean, they just did a really good job not letting the Iowa Wild get set up. You know, they did a great job standing up at the blue line. They were getting on the dumps first. just literally didn't give Iowa a chance.
Even strength hockey here as Edstrom comes back after his penalty. 11:50 to play here in the first period. On FloHockey, it's the Wild and the Admirals here at the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic in Hastings, Minnesota, as a part of Hockey Day Minnesota. Ben Gislason and Mark Parrish, former NHLer, with you here on the call. Great to be with you tonight and grateful for some heat here in the booth.
Very grateful. I've been looking forward to working with you, my friend Benny. I am so excited about tonight.
Brad Merrick's shot looking to get it through traffic was blocked by the veteran Daniel Carr. And now Reed Schaefer will float one to the near side for Oasis Weisblatt, and Jack Peart came across looking for a heat-seeking hit.
Great job. Hey, Peart, good old St. Cloud State Husky there. Separate the man from the puck. Great job. He did his work. Let somebody else take the puck from there.
I wonder if we'll see many more of those. That hit had to hurt both sides with how cold it is down there. As an icing call comes against the Admirals here with 10:57 to play.
That was kind of the test run right there. That was the first hit. They're going to go back to the bench, and everybody's going to be like, all right, how do you feel, guys? Did that hurt? How cold are the shoulders? Is there any pain? Or the best part is sometimes that warms you up. Little body contact, and nothing else warms your body up faster. Get hit, take a hit. That was the quickest way for me to get into a game.
Pause on the draw here briefly. It's Bank here against Weisblatt. Admirals control the draw as Schaefer will scamper ahead. 25 games with Nashville this year for Schaefer. He turns it over, though, to Jean-Luc Foudy, curling in, looks for Oscar Olausen. His shot deflected by Edstrom, and that caught the mesh behind the net of Matt Murray, and that will send us to our first media timeout here on really sacred ground in Hastings. It's Hockey Day, Minnesota. It's the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic. We're scoreless so far. Plenty more of tonight's soundtrack when we return. AHL fans, the AHL's annual charity auction is now live at AHLauthentic.com. This year, all proceeds will benefit Hockey Fights Cancer, with NHL and AHL signed jerseys now available. Don't miss your chance to own one of these unique pieces of hockey memorabilia. Visit AHLauthentic.com to place your bids and support Hockey Fights Cancer. Some beautiful sweaters on display here this evening in Hastings as we welcome you back to the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic at Hockey Day, Minnesota. And these really do embody the whole sweater theme, don't they?
I actually just had to explain that to my children. They did not understand that actually a hockey sweater is what it used to be. Originally was a sweater, wasn't a jersey. Yeah, that made me feel old too.
Makes me feel a little old myself. Will Smolik looking towards the net front. There's a rebound there. Gambrell got a swing at it. Milwaukee, a team that perennially defends the net front so fiercely, does a good job of it there.
Yeah, and simple hockey. Good, smart, simple hockey by the Iowa Wild. Get the cycle in, get pucks to the point, get on net, get rebounds. Rinse, repeat.
Milwaukee's captain, Kevin Gravel, on the end around for Cole O'Hara. Edstrom, who's taken the game's lone penalty, flanks one ahead for Ryder Ralston, who will spin it in deep.
And it's starting to pick up a little bit. Now the intensity, the guys are warming up. The groins are warming up now. They're starting to get some longer strides out there.
Marino's long try into the glove as Al Marino, who is one of the tougher customers you'll find in the American Hockey League. He chops up the waters there a bit in front of Halavai. Look at his numbers, 91 penalty minutes this year in his American Hockey League career. 530 career penalty minutes. He's been a pro for 6 seasons, so he's racking them up.
That's it. Yes, he is. I understand what his role is. And he understands what his role is, more importantly. You need those big bodies. You need to keep everybody calm out there, and more importantly, keeping your own team calm.
He was third in the American League last year with 151 PIMs. Knows his way around a fight or two.
I don't think I got 150 in my career.
We could figure that out. We have stat guys for that. Marino shovels one off the wall. Lands ahead for Isaac Ratcliffe. Back towards the net front. Navrin Mutters there. Good stick from Peart. DJ King zips one around the end wall for Iowa. He's back to get this puck again. An outlet feed for Olausen, who scrapes his way in. Bankier, a nice move right into the slot. It's stopped by Murray. And he'll hang tight, but Caden Bankier with a slick move at the line to give himself some space.
Great job, middle lane drive there. And yeah, Bankier just kind of pulls it right back behind the middle lane drive. And Matt Murray was on his toes there. He wasn't quite sure he had that at first. That was a good little shot. He was lost in there a little bit, but great job, that separation right there. Finding a way to give yourself time and space as an offensive player. Great job right there, finding a way to get a shot.
You bring up, as we got a quick media timeout here, you bring up this team is starting to settle in. We've seen Iowa settle in a little bit. We've seen Milwaukee settle in a little bit. Robert Babiak's making his way, too, to check in with head coach of Iowa, Greg Cronin. But teams are starting to settle in right now. Teams are starting to maybe feel the puck a little bit more. And it looks like Robert Babiak's giving us the go-ahead. He's down on the bench, freezing with head coach of Iowa, Greg Cronin.
Stories.
All right, not sure if we caught that or not, as, you know, I don't think wires and cold go very well, so who knows if there are a few points that all of a sudden have just frozen solid. One funny quip, as again, apologize if we weren't able to get that interview to all of you tuning in here on FloHockey, but one great quip from today, video coach Eric Michaud for the Iowa Wild. He's in charge of printing and bringing the printer and bringing the ink for the printer.
Oh.
The ink for the printer last night did not make its way into the heat-controlled dressing rooms downstairs. Showed up this morning, frozen solid.
Frozen solid, yeah. That's
we printed at the hotel, safe to say.
Yeah, there you go. Warm it back up there. Get it right in front of those heaters.
Oh, man.
As you used to do in the old hockey tournaments growing up, right? You go back to the hotel room in between games, your room was 90 degrees because you've got your skates right in front of the heater, warming them up.
Sure, it smelled lovely, too.
Oh, Mom loved it. Mom loved it.
There is a special place in this hockey world for hockey moms, hockey dads, the travel that they deal with, and also the smelly hotel rooms, too.
Amen.
It's just one of the few things that make them so special.
Probably we had the wives in for that one then.
Hey, well done. Just tolerating all the travel that you deal with, especially in pro hockey. My goodness.
They are special people, and we love them all. And we need them all.
Yeah, both of our wives in that category. Play commencing again here on Friday evening in Hastings. A scoreless game so far, but teams are limbering up a bit here. They're starting to find their game a little bit. Iowa's had some chances. Matt Murray has been up to the task so far early.
And yeah, again, not surprising too, because the way these teams have battled and what they're going through, that it is such a careful, smart, it's very smart played hockey right now. Comments, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss hockey, baby, I love it.
Applicable in every walk of life, whether you wear skates or not.
Amen.
Puck winds up out of play here with 8:19 to go. And one thing I'm really curious about tonight, Mark, with how cold it is, will we see the crowd thin? Will they make their way to the beer tent and go, it's kind of nice in here, maybe I'm going to stay in here, it's a little warmer, there's libations. I'm going to think they're going to hang out, because I'm looking around in the crowd and I'm seeing, again, a lot of blaze orange, a lot of hunting gear, a lot of camouflage. People showed up ready to rock, didn't they?
I love that the Minnesotans came out in us here. You know, when people think we love to torture ourselves, maybe that is a little bit true, but hey, we love it, and we, you know, this is what we love to do. We come out here, we cheer our boys on, and we freeze our butts off.
Well, we're the crazy ones here in the booth that we did crack the window a little bit because it was too warm for us.
It was, yeah, well,
we shouldn't tell Robert Babiak that, because he's probably going to go, are you serious, guys? I'm down here ringside. You guys have a heated booth and you cracked the window? But again,
he can come up and warm up and, you know, run it down quick.
A game still searching for its first goal. Zach LaRue trying to change that here as he sprints in, trying to cut outside in on Matt Kierstead. That's a tough task. Kierstead, one of the stronger defensive defensemen you'll find in the American Hockey League. Almost won a Calder Cup last year in Charlotte. They fell a few games shy to the Abbotsford Canucks in the Calder Cup final.
And I don't care what league you're in. You get to the final, you had a heck of a year. A heck of a year. A lot of people don't realize one team goes home happy. So that other team even gets there. What an incredible season that they have.
Gravel in front of his own net here. A straight line feed for O'Hara. Ryder Ralston zips one in around the end wall. Halavai keeps it moving. Hunter Haight for Jack Peart, slides it up the wall for Jerry Mayhew. Mentioned his prowess and his accolades all time with the Wild. He's also their points and goals leader this season in his return to the Iowa Wild. 14 goals and 23 points.
You know, when you get and that's the hardest part about the AHL, right? The jockeying of positions, guys getting called up and down and finding that consistency. When you do get a Mayhew that gets sent back down, it is a lift for that team. Like, boy, we got one of our goal scorers back, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, it was an incredible moment when news broke that he was re-signing with the team. Not even at the beginning of the season. It came about 2-3 weeks in.
Yes.
Looking at the roster, and they were going, we could use another goal scorer. First man they called.
Yeah,
all-time leading goal scorer in franchise history. He was a free agent, and it's been an incredible reunion for Mayhew in his return.
So that Matty Hendricks guy, he knows what he's talking about there, that Husky running this organization here. I love it.
I teed you up for that one with the Husky connection, didn't I?
Every time. Please do it.
Al Foodie started the year on a PTO tryout deal, ended up signing an AHL deal out of it. Those are those great success stories when you see guys come in on tryout contracts and then they get a full-time gig.
They are the absolute fan favorite, team favorites. The team favorites. You just can't not love those guys and pull for those guys as teammates.
Gleason ahead for Jones. Along now for Obey-Kubel, back in front to Jones. And it's kept out just barely. Jones wanted a call there, but he won't get one.
Yeah, the refs' hands are cold too. You better do something real good. You better do something to make it be real bad to make me raise this on, boy.
Obey-Kubel again across for Jones. These two have manufactured two of the best chances early in this game.
It was a beautiful pass by Obey-Kubel on the last scoring chance. There you go. I got that.
They need to close that window. Now here is Obey-Kubel. Tremendous pro with over 300 National League games. Also, this is number 287 in his American League career tonight. Effective at both levels, plays more of a checking role at the National League level, but he's someone that's asked to create offensively when he's in the American League, and he's got 8 points over his last 11 games.
And those guys that can do that, that is such a hard role. That is so hard to be able to switch your role back and forth from depending on what team you're playing on. It's literally, to put that in perspective, you're just told to do something completely different from your different team. You get called up, you do one thing, and they're like, all right, no, never mind, now you can play skilled. I don't know, my head would have exploded if I had a coach doing that to me.
Dylan Gambrell now into the right-hand corner. 4:15 to play here in the first, as now Gambrell's got a chance, but he finds the outside of the twine. He wanted inside there as it missed to that right post.
And you know, and those are one of those, you know, the irons are a little bit cold every
And a
now and
bounce
then.
in front, and they score! There it is, the first one. I think Hunter Haight's going to get credit for it. It was chopping around, and Hunter Haight, who just arrived from St. Paul earlier today from the Minnesota Wild, has the Iowa Wild's first of the night.
You gotta love that. Hyder coming right back down. You want to take advantage of it. You want to come in back when you get back to the team. You want to show what you've learned. You want to show how much you progressed. Coming out there, great power move, great play down to the corner. He takes the ice that's available in front of the net. Smart, simple hockey. Gets his shot off, sticks with the rebound, and finds maybe the armpit there, but beautiful, hard-working goal there by Hunter Haight.
So Haight's got his 8th of the season, and Mark, it felt like that might be coming for the Wild. They've had the better of the chances here in the first.
You nailed it, Ben. They had started to kind of come along. They started to establish that forecheck a little bit. They were getting cycle chances. They were getting the better scoring chances. They were finally able to pop that first one, the ever-important first goal of the night.
Carson Lambos and Dylan Gambrell grabbing the assists on that opening strike here late in the first period, so it's official. The Wild are on the board first here at Hastings. Olausen will charge out of his own zone with the Wild leading 1-0 here. And trying to drop an 8-game drought they carried into tonight. That's a great way to start it.
Just instant, a little bit of relief, lightens up the shoulders. It's a little bit easier to get out there for that next shift and skate a little bit harder. That first goal when things aren't going well is huge.
And should we be surprised it was a bit of a grimy one at the net front in a game like this where it's 7 below?
Yeah, I got a funny feeling that most of them are going to be like.
Bank here from a very sharp angle there that Murray was trying to fend off and does. It ended up clinking off the iron there for a second as well, as the Wild are on the board first here at the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic in Hastings. Hunter Haight pops in goal number 1 as we head to a break in the action. Well, it is a real privilege to welcome you back, not only to our coverage tonight, but to welcome you back to the press box, where it's not often I get to be in the booth with two ex-NHLers. That is the case, of course. That's Mark Parrish, and this is Jeff Tafe, the Chief Development Officer of the United Heroes League. Jeff, it's great to have you. We're looking forward to having you for the remaining minutes of this period. And what's been going on in your mind watching all this unfold here today?
It's been a lot the last few days here. A lot of things have gone wrong. This is actually the first time I've got to watch a game here, to be quite honest with you. I'm just loving Perry's call up here. I know he talks a lot, but when he's up here, it's a bit aggressive.
Very, very aggressive. Yeah, Dave, I can't even thank you guys enough for everything you've done, but I've got to ask you about how exhausted you were on the celebrity game. Because I noticed you and Paul Martin were out there a lot when we were scored against.
That was my A game.
That was you're in mine both.
Yeah.
Mine's both.
I just got to give the league and Flo and everybody a lot of credit for sticking this one out. You know, it would have been pretty easy to cancel a few days ago, but this is one of those things where the guys are cold and stuff, but they're going to remember this forever. It's kind of part of the game of hockey, and I just, like I said, I want to thank the guys, the trainers, coaches, everybody, the fans for coming out and braving this. It's gonna be a little chilly here for a couple more hours, but what do? You know there's going to be a fight tonight. Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do it.
You got it. I mean, it wouldn't have been me, but somebody's got to do it.
Here we go. Just like you said, Jeff, there was a play-by-play. You called it. Ben Gleason and Zach LaRue. Gleason's gloves are off. I don't think LaRue was able to shed them there quickly, but Gleason was ready.
Good news is the penalty boxes are heated as well, so they'll be fine.
Maybe that's why they want to go there.
There you go.
Be my first fight here.
Gleason heard that.
Left and right.
Gleason heard that pregame and went, I better fight so I can be in there for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
that's right.
So Gleason's going to go to the box. I don't think it'll be a fighting major. That never turned out to be a real tilt. But LaRue's also going. There was a delayed penalty on Iowa leading up to that, so I think Milwaukee will be going to a power play here. But Jeff, you obviously are just immersed in the United Heroes League and building this platform. We've talked about it all broadcast long, the incredible things you guys do, but coordinating this is new for the United Heroes League, right? Can you even put a finger on what the most challenging part of all this coordination was?
It's tough, too. I mean, our city's been great to work with, our hockey boosters. We've had a great organizing committee here. We've had 2 years to plan this, and you can't plan for weather, you can't plan for generators going out here and there. It's just kind of one of those things where I want to come back to my first point. Is like, I give these guys a lot of credit for being out there and sticking with it. It's a huge production. It's been a lot. It would be great to be able to do this full time, but now you see some of these NHL games and the other American League games that are outside. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, and it takes a lot of effort from everybody.
You bring up the community of Hastings and how they've rallied around this. What exactly does it mean? You're a homegrown Hastings kid, Mr. Hockey winner once upon a time.
Yep.
You know this town, you know these people, you know what this means to everybody here, don't you?
It's been great, especially the last few weeks with fluctuating temperatures. It's raining one day, and then we get 8 inches of snow. So everybody's come out and helped with the venue. It's been awesome. We got a lot of good guys that came out of this town. Probably not quite as many as Bloomington Jefferson, but we're just a little bit behind them. But, we'll get there someday.
Yeah, the Blades of Glory years. We haven't even gotten to that yet, Mark. But by
he's
the way,
he's not the best player to come out.
No,
there,
not even close. No, I learned that very quickly at a speech with Mr. Tafe that Mike Crowley is by far the fan favorite.
Correct.
Do you want to toss in there, Mark? I think we did just have our first shot block of the night. And
I saw that.
Matt Kierstead who got in the way of that one. Looked purposeful, too.
It did. He looked like it was intentional. I'm going to have to ask him what he was thinking. Put that ankle right there.
Admirals on a power play here. 1:37 to go. In the man advantage. Ryan Ufko, who we'll have to keep our eyes on, deadly on the power play for this team. One of the top power play defensemen you'll find in the American Hockey League. He leads the American League in power play goals by defensemen and is second in power play assists. As the Admirals will attack again with Daniel Carr and 1:11 to go in the penalty to Riley Height. This one drifts in on Halabai, who comes up with a giant save on the rebound. That was Daniel Carr off the far post.
Boy, they got to be careful with that Ratcliffe in front. He's doing a good job getting that stick free.
Time from a shallow angle was Ratcliffe, who, by the way, takes up a lot of sight lines at 6'5", 203.
I was just wondering how big that guy is.
Would have killed for a couple of those inches.
Wow.
He's a tall drink of water.
Good stick.
As Kobe Kubel gets one down. Jeff Tate with us here inside of the booth at Hockey Day, Minnesota, the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic. Jeff, not only your ties with the United Heroes League, but also as a player, you played in the first ever Winter Classic game. All those years ago, it was really a snow globe type atmosphere.
Yeah.
I remember watching that game. How have things changed outdoor game-wise since then? What do you remember from that night?
I think our biggest problem in that one was the ice conditions. I don't think they were ready for it. A game lasted, I mean, it had to be 4 hours.
Yes, it did.
It's hard when you only play 6 minutes a night, too. So I had a lot of sitting around to do, just watching the ice crews work their magic. But it's become a science. They're actually heating our ice out here the last 3 or 4 days. So it's come a long ways. But I'll tell you what, when you can get Sidney Crosby out there to score an overtime winner, I think that's a win for everybody.
Great.
It was pure magic. And the period coming to a close here from Hastings. Jeff, before we close, United Heroes League people that need to be thanked. I know there's probably numerous amounts of them, but who do you want to get to before we head to a break in the action here?
I mean, I think obviously the president, Shane Udello, this is his baby. He's been working on this for a long time. He's the one who makes all this happen, dealing with the sponsorships and getting everybody in line. And then obviously our mayor has been a big part of it, our local organizing committee. Just the whole town of Hastings, they really stepped up to volunteer and help everybody out. And I really appreciate the fans, American Hockey League, like I said, and these teams for making this happen.
It's been just a remarkable day already and a remarkable week. And the one thing that Mark and I were joking about, we weren't sure, I think everybody wasn't sure what the fan showing would be like. And well, we're seeing it here. Should we be surprised? We were just joking about how Minnesotans might be a little cuckoo at times. We can say that both as Minnesotans,
Yeah.
1-2. This shows just how much they love this game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I said, give them a lot of credit. There's a lot up in the stands, but there's even more in the tents back there listening to live music, cruising around. So I was a little surprised, but hey, we're making it work.
Jeff, thanks so much for stopping by, and we're looking forward to the rest of this day, and obviously good luck with the Marquee Day tomorrow.
Of course, thanks. You guys are doing a great job here, and we appreciate it.
That's Jeff
You're the
Tate,
best,
former
brother.
NHLer and Chief Development Officer of the United Heroes League. Now we've got Robert Babiak, who's got a very frosty player standing by down ringside.
The boards are frozen. There's not any give. How does that impact the game here?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely different. You know, it's a lot colder out here. The sticks have no grip on them. The boards are hard. You know, both teams are dealing with it, and we'll have to just adjust as we go.
Yeah, and we're looking at it today. You guys are all bundled up. You've gotten prepared. Are you having fun out there? It seems like a good first period.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun when you get to play outside. Breaking a record tonight, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
All right, one final question for you as we're getting ready today. Back when you were a kid playing, did you ever think you'd be in this scenario, this situation right now that you are?
No, definitely not. You know, playing on ponds in Michigan's very common, done it a lot, but playing a professional game outdoors is always a great time.
All right, guys, hey, we're getting locked and loaded, and I'll see you after the break.
Well, great stuff. Robert Babiak there with Jerry Mayhew of the Iowa Wild, and just recently became the all-time leading point scorer in Iowa Wild history. That was Hunter Hates' opening goal as the Wild lead 1-0 through the end of the first period here, rolling into the first intermission on FloHockey. 4:04 to go, by the way, in the second period here. Still 2-0. Haven't missed anything. As the Admirals will come out here from their own zone. Welcome back, FloHockey fans. Our sincerest apologies for the weather, which is an act of God, cannot be controlled sometimes. It is 7 below. Wind chill we haven't even accounted for that, and so we've had some technical issues here, but we are back. We're live on FloHockey, and we've got an angle of the game going on. It's the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic. Ben Gislason with Mark Parrish. Up here in the booth at Hockey Day, Minnesota. We're here at Hastings, and it's a 2-0 game, by the way. You haven't missed much. The only miss is a shot from the Admirals and Ryder Ralston, who makes it 2-1. Right on cue, we got back to the goal mark.
Yeah, you know, a great face-off work by the Milwaukee Admirals right there. Ryder Ralston, shocker to see a Ralston get a puck right in the slot and bury it. Of course, we're used to seeing it for the Wild, but obviously you see the Ryder Ralston able to fall too far from the tree. A beautiful soft spot goal, low glove on Palamo. This was a rebound with so many bodies in front of him. There was not much you could do. It's a bang-bang play. He tried to get out there and kept the angle down. It was just a beautiful shot off that rebound. Nice goal, Ryder Ralston, and congratulations, Dad.
Now that we are back on air, Brian might be watching as that goal went in. And again, apologies for missing some action here. Orion Sandelin goal made it 2-0 earlier on in this period. The Admirals have the length they were looking for as Ryder Ralston has his fourth of the season. And the Wild will go over to work here.
77 Cole O'Hara.
Lost it at the line to Jerry Mayhew. And Mayhew looks north for Peart. Peart now for Gambrell. Gambrell searching around the end wall. Dyke looks up the far side, and now it's O'Hara out to center. They'll hoist one high into the air, and that finds the mesh over on the far side of the ice surface here that is holding up.
Water flooded over, it's open.
2:44 to play here in second period. It's 2-1. The drama has heightened with the Ryder Ralston goal. As Isaac Ratcliffe gets a quick shot off, and Halavai up to the task for that stop. And I was thinking about it coming into the game, Mark. The players are able to get back to the bench. They can take a penalty, go to the penalty box, but Matt Murray and Samuel Halavai, people always say goaltending, you live on an island. There's nothing tropical about where they're at right now.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. You know, I always wondered, I never would have ever skated with like the toe warmers on. If I was a goalie, the toe warmers would be on today. It's got to be frozen. I don't know how quick their toes froze, but it had to be within the first 2 minutes of the game.
2.5 to go here in the second period from Hastings. Great to have you with us tonight, and thanks for sticking with us on FloHockey as we're battling out frigid temperatures here in Hastings, Minnesota. Officially the coldest outdoor pro hockey game in history, topping the previous mark in 2022 of minus 5.7 degrees Fahrenheit. The game started at 7 below here in Hastings. Jean-Luc Philly dances across the offensive line and angles it in deep. Osterley looks ahead with it. Marino will shovel one off the glass and back inside of Iowa's ice. Smolik is there to get it. Rochester, Minnesota. A few tougher in the NHL than his father Doug when he was roaming the ice. Right, Mark?
Oh, he terrified me back in '89 with the Rochester John Marshall, sorry. Doug Smolik, '89 championship. Sorry about that. Williams Jefferson won.
the Rockets. Shout out to my grandfather, Richard, who was not just a John Marshall Rocket once upon a time. And we've got a whistle down here on the ice, and a penalty coming up against the Wild. It'll be Carson Lambos who will take the sinful skate to the penalty box here, and Milwaukee will get a power play and a chance to tie the game here, Perry.
And you know he was guilty. He just put his head right down and went right to the box. No, there was no complaining. There was no talking. Yep, busted, got me. That's when you start cheering your boys on. Come on, boys, I need a kill for me.
He knew the heat that was waiting for him in the penalty box, too, I suppose. So Lambos will sit for 2. And the Wild with 1:36 to go. This is a crucial stretch of the hockey game. I know, Mark, we've obviously talked a lot about the weather. We've talked a lot about the ice conditions. But there are 2 points up for grabs in this game. It's an AHL league game, and both of these teams on losing streaks, they need to win tonight.
Absolutely need to find a win tonight. And you can see with the intensity start to pick up as the game gets closer, especially minute and a half left in the second period. This is a momentum swing power play for the Milwaukee Admirals right here.
Top power play in the American Hockey League at 29.5%. They're crisp, and here comes the shot from Carr. It's blocked by Kierstead. There's another shot block from Matt. We didn't think we'd see many of those tonight, and he's had a couple of them.
Oh, he's taking the stingers tonight for the squad. I love to see a veteran guy blocking shots like that, especially on a day like today.
Ahead comes Oasis Weisblatt. Joachim Kemmel now for Haru at the right-hand circle. Looks towards the net. That one skipped off of a couple of skates. As Ben Jones tries to fly it out, he can't. Carr's got it back with 49 to go here in this 2-1 second period. And you can just sense the urgency picking up here as this power play continues. That will bleed over into the third unless the Admirals can find an equalizer here late in the second. Ufko slides it to his left. Osterley punching one in. Down to get it is Kierstead. Osterley down the wall. He'll fling it towards the near side where it's scooped up by Cole O'Hara. Dylan Gambrell in his way. Kierstead with 20 seconds remaining. He can't get it out. O'Hara with it. Filters it back towards the line. Lucchini sprinting to hold the zone. He'll feed it for Osterley. Now it's Tanner Molendijk. Lucchini at the top. His wrist shot deflected wide in front by Reed Schaefer with 5 seconds remaining. Peart will look to cling to this puck here and bring to an end the second period of play. Great to be back on air. And one of the great things that I've got on my mind is this game has just intensified right in time as we got the broadcast back on. I think we're in for a big third, Mark.
Absolutely. You can see the intensity pick up. You see in the hitting pick up, the contact, pro hockey.
Our Scott Howson with the American Hockey League president and CEO of the American Hockey League. And Scott, it is a 90-year anniversary for the American Hockey League here. And what a way to celebrate it, too, with all of the pomp and circumstance around this game. It's something that we just touched on. None of these players will ever forget. And looks like we're getting set to get the camera back on here inside the press box as things are starting to warm up again. So we're starting to get all of our technical abilities back here on a very, very bitter cold night in Hastings, 7 below, not including wind chill. But one thing, Scott, you've got an ex-American leaguer here in Mark Parrish who spent some time in your league, primarily in the National Hockey League, but he knows this league. He knows the grind of it. And we were just talking about these athletes and these guys to step into this moment, and they've all done it with a smile on their face. The American Hockey League can be a grind at times for these players, but you're seeing the skill level. It's the one thing that we were just touching on, has just shot through the roof.
Yeah, our game's getting better and faster and stronger, and the athletes are getting better and faster and stronger, and it's a delight to see. I'm continually amazed. Every year, the game goes up a level at our level, and it's going up at every other level. So you said it best. Our players have come here with a smile on their face. There's 2 points on the line, and they're really competing. This is a really competitive game.
An incredible outdoor game history, too, with the American Hockey League, and no one game like the other, I'm sure. This is going to have memories that are different from Charlotte, different from years past. I know one of our assistant coaches, Nate McKeever, was a part of a game with the Bridgeport Islanders once upon a time. How have you seen the outdoor games evolve in your time with the league?
Well, in my time with the league, we had Charlotte, and that was a perfect evening. It was the temperature was unreal. We also had a game in Cleveland that was supposed to start at noon, and we couldn't start it because the sun just came out at about 11:30 and it started melting the ice. The ice wasn't safe, so we had to wait for the sun to go down. So and now we're in very cold weather here. So we do have a couple teams that are talking about an outdoor game next year. So hopefully we'll be able to pull that off too.
And maybe give them a few lessons that were learned from this weather here today. It's such an interesting game because when you're indoors, there are things that can change and that can hamper the game, but hockey's not used to dealing with whether it's wind or whether it's sunshine or whether it's the elements. It's such a different ordeal to handle. The coordination of this whole thing, whether it's the American Hockey League, whether it's the United Heroes League to put this on, the Minnesota Wild, the Iowa Wild, obviously the big parts in this. What does it truly take to put something like this together? You've seen it happen numerous times.
A lot of planning. Allie and Mike Murray and Matt Hendricks and Todd Fredrickson, they started planning this like 10, 12 months ago. And we had meetings about it, and we talked about it, and we made sure that all the protocols were going to be followed. But then you get to the night, and it's as cold as it's ever been. So it's something we all have to adjust to, and we have, and we're very proud of that.
Mark, I'm hogging the mic if you have anything. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to keep asking questions.
No, I was absolutely loving it. You talk about all the other events. One of the things that I loved when playing in the American League is how much fun was brought more into the game. When we did the pink ice for breast cancer night and whatnot. Now, that was a little tricky for me, I'm not gonna lie. That tie-dye got a little bit messy on the depth perception. But I've always loved that you guys have been so welcome to be trying new things, to do things for charities, to give back. And is that something that obviously you guys focus on?
Well, it's part of our mission. We really believe that we make all the communities that we play in better places to live, and we all want to give back, and our players are tremendous about giving back, and our teams are tremendous about organizing opportunities for our players and our team to give back, and it is one of our brand pillars, is give back to the community.
We're seeing some images now on our screen, the storied history of the American Hockey League. There's so much to celebrate. Look at some great old Rochester American sweaters there here on the screen. And 90 years of the American Hockey League. There's so much to highlight. There's so much to feature. What has this 90th anniversary celebration illuminated for you?
Well, it's just given us an opportunity to really look back at our past and celebrate what our past is about. People like Mark that have helped build this game and build our league. And we have such a storied history. We've got, you know, the Johnny Bowers of the world that are famous Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
and,
real legends.
And it just given us an opportunity to celebrate that and tell our story about it, because we're very proud of our tradition. We're very proud of our history.
Let's finish with this. What's your prediction for the third period?
I think it's going to be a 3-2 game, and I don't know who's going to win.
I think that's a pretty good guess.
I like that.
It feels like almost one of those next goal win situations. If you get to 3-1, maybe Iowa can hang on, but if the Admirals tie the game at the beginning of this third period, it's anybody's game.
I'm just so happy it's such a competitive game. The players are braving the elements, and they care about winning, and you know that, and we all know that. They really care about winning.
Well, Scott, we care about having you here. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for all that your organization and the league office did to make sure that this has gone off so well, and look at all the blankets out there. That's unbelievable. What a sight. And Scott, thanks for this. Great to see you, and congratulations on another successful outdoor game.
Thank you.
That's President and CEO of the American Hockey League, Scott Howson, here inside what's now a frosty press box. We'll come back with more coverage of the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic on Hockey Day Minnesota next.
Now, we did Red Bull crash tank.
Now, greetings again here from Hastings, the site for the Iowa Wild and the Milwaukee Admirals here at the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic at Hockey Day, Minnesota. It's a 2-1 game going into the final frame of action here from
Hastings, Minnesota on FloHockey. And again, Ben Gislason, Mark Parrish, the rest of our FloHockey crew, apologies for the weather delay in the broadcast. We lost some time in there. We only missed one goal. And so we apologize to you, but we're grateful that you stuck with us, and we're looking forward to the rest of this hockey game here in the third period. And Mark, we were obviously paying keen attention even with the broadcast down during that second period of play. The first period was mostly Iowa. The first half of that second period was mostly Iowa, but Milwaukee turning it on there a bit towards the end. It's really set up for what should be a fun third period.
Yeah, they were feeling it back up against the wall a little bit. Backed into a corner with the Iowa Wild. They did a great job those first two periods, getting out to that lead, playing simple, smart hockey. Milwaukee had to work their way back into it. They were able to claw themselves back into this game, and now we got a fun 20 minutes here to figure out who's going to win this tilt.
Well, we do have some highlights that we can take a peek at before we head into the third period of play. These are from the first period, as the Wild did have some early chances in this game, and we were a little surprised at how crisp they looked early.
They did. They looked good. Ame Kubel especially. You saw some of the veterans get out there, jumping out there, starting some offense. And of course, we get to see our netminder, Halavi. He gets back there and making out there. He has done such a good job. You can see his feet out there. See how far outside that paint he is? He is way out on his angle. And right here, hate right here. Just a good old power move. This is NHL hockey. If you've got ice, take it. He takes it to the front of the net. First one doesn't go in, stick with it, kid. Second one goes in. Great effort.
So a first period that saw the Wild lead 1-0 going into the second stanza. And then Ryan Sandelin would grab a goal, as well as Ryder Ralston for Milwaukee, making it 2-1. A beautiful drone shot here of the picturesque setting at Shields Rink here in Hastings as we're preparing for the third period of play. And the first 5 minutes are awfully very telling of a third period as we see our stats through 40 minutes. The Wild with an edge in the shots, and also the Admirals will have a power play to start this period. Mark Parrish, the opening shift of any period, give me some pillars as to what these teams are trying to do once this puck drops.
Oh, it's the most important face-off of the game. Every period it gets more and more important. You got to win this face-off right here. You got to set the tone. If you're Minnesota, if you're Iowa right now, win the face-off, get it down, and can kill the kill. Milwaukee gets it. Now they might have a little chance to get one last rush here going on the power play.
Well, often skating here in the third from Hastings, a 2-1 lead for the home team, the Iowa Wild. Let's sit back and enjoy. Ryan Ufko got his shot blocked. Merrick in the way of that. Another one comes in. That's blocked as well by Matt Kierstead. There's another one.
He just can't stop tagging him. He likes it. It's a glutton for punishment, that one.
And the Wild get through that penalty kill unscathed. Now 3 for 3 in the game.
Really good penalty kill. They really just never give Milwaukee a chance to set up in the second period, and obviously just having to kill the 23, 24 seconds was a nice little cleanup job.
5-on-5 play here inside of 19 minutes to go. As Osterley swoops one around the back wall. And Jones to get it, the captain for Iowa. Just arrived on a car service down from St. Paul earlier this morning after he watched last night. Saved there by Halavi. A good shot from O'Hara at the right-hand circle.
Great side by Halavi. That was sneaky. That's a soft spot goal, that low blocker. That's a tricky save for the goaltenders.
Molendijk out of his own zone. And ahead will come Cole O'Hara. On the backhand, flaring it back to neutral is Ben Gleason. That's going to be an icing call against the Wild, although Hunter Haight shrugging his shoulders a bit, wondering why.
Milwaukee did actually a great job of avoiding that puck, to be honest with you. They all made the right turns. They did the strong, they made sure they went away from the puck. You're like, oh no, I could have played that one. That must have been icing.
Oh, and there's an art to looking like you're hustling for an icing whistle.
The long stride. You gotta have that long, kind of throw the arms and maybe grimace a little bit, So
Hunter Haight will dig in here. On the draw, it goes backwards. Riley Haight trying to work it loose. It goes to the blue line. Now here's Ufko. He's slick. Into the high slot. His shot. That hit a body in front. Might have been Peart. Might have just touched Halavi. Little sample size of just what he can bring.
He's so shifty. He reminds me of a young Adam Fox a little bit. Like the way he slides around out there seems effortless. He's got great vision. Doesn't seem to get in any trouble whatsoever out there. He is a fun young hockey player to watch.
Second full season pro for Ufko as Osterley's blast just got deflected wide in front by Marino. Admirals have some jump here. The early portions of this third as Navrin Mutter punishes Carson Lambos on the forecheck. Osterley for Andrew Gibson, the second-round pick of Detroit out of LaSalle, Ontario.
The neutral zone, so much of it's getting played in the neutral zone. That's pro hockey to a T. When everybody's playing well, it's tough sledding. You can't get through the neutral zone clean like these teams are doing. They're both just playing spectacular neutral zone defensively.
Smolik with the puck in his skates. Strides in back behind his own net, lobs it ahead where Gibson intervenes. He's looking in front for Lucchini. And again, there's Kierstead to deny the 2-on-1 entry.
He is just in the right place at the right time.
Made a living doing just that. Kierstead in his 5th year professional after he broke in with the Charlotte Checkers. Molendyk back in his own zone. Swerves away from Jean-Luc Foudy. Kierstead fending off the forecheck of Molendyk. That goes off of Jones' stick, almost back into his own net, but Halavai with the paddle down was ready for it. Now Daniel Carr lost it to Nick Aubé-Kubel. He'll charge ahead. Aubé-Kubel's pass out of the reach of Jones, looking back in front, but Carr was there to get a stick on it. Oasis Weisblatt, rink wide for Carr, who spins off the check of Peart, finds Gravel striding in. His pass was deflected by Height. He'll nestle it forward for Aubé-Kubel. Puck gets away from him. And now Ufko smoothly back into his own zone. A backhand dish ahead for Reed Schaefer. Gravel looking across. There's room for Ufko. A stutter step move back towards the line. Spins to his forehand. Hands for Gravel, whose blast is knocked down. And then Peart pulls it off the goal line. That puck was going in.
What a play by Peart.
Now a save from Halavai on Edstrom's try. Shooting gallery here from the Admirals as Ufko gets pushed off by another save from Halavai. Gravel again for Ufko. His shot is blocked by Ben Gleason. And look at the Wild bench after that shift. They are all standing knowing just how bad some of those shot blocks stung in this weather.
Boy, it's just stepping up and making the right plays here. Milwaukee does a good job getting some ozone time here, but you can see here's Peart. Look at him just jumping right in there. Johnny on the spot right there, heads up play. Doesn't just throw it. Hey, young guys, you notice that? He turns with the puck. He has his head up before he makes a play, so he sees where guys are coming at him. You see young guys all the time get in that position. They just turn and throw the puck, and next thing you know, they throw it right onto a guy's tape, and it's in the back of their net. Great job by Peart.
You can just see him gasping for breath there after that long defensive zone shift. Those are hard even when you're indoors.
Oh, yeah. You got to work twice as hard to play defense as you do offense.
Oh, and in weather like this, it must just feel like you're swallowing razors
the
back on the bench.
And starting, you can taste blood. Oh, yeah, all the fun stuff.
Ben Gislason, Mark Parrish, the rest of our FloHockey crew here. A 2-1 third period. American Hockey League's outdoor game here in Hastings, Minnesota. It's been a fun one so far. Thanks for sticking with us through some technical difficulties in that second period. And we're live and ready to bring you through the finish line now. Point shot by DJ King is met by Murray, and the Wild get a response opportunity there. And now Mutter comes in and drops Lambos to the ice after the whistle. And you know, it's interesting. This has been a series that has had some snarl to it. And a man who knows a lot about this series in his second year with the Wild is Hunter Haight, who was selected to the American Hockey League All-Star Classic roster as the Iowa Wild's representative. And he's someone that Minnesota Wild fans are starting to get familiar with. He made his NHL debut this year. He's been a frequent call-up and someone that Minnesota Wild fans should get familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's going to be too much longer. He's going to be playing full term up with the Minnesota Wild. He just does so many things so well. And obviously you can see the scoring touch that he has. Literally, when you're a goal scorer, it's only a matter of time till they make room for you up top. Everybody's looking for goal scorers in the NHL.
Well, and he can play those depth line positions as well. He's a hard worker. He's good on the dot as we see him win a draw. Unfortunately, it was picked off by LaRue there. But he's got the makings to do that, because it's hard to go from first-line American League to first-line National Hockey League. You got to work your way up, don't you?
Very difficult. Yeah, there's a process to that. There's an evolution. It takes a while, man, to be a first-line NHLer. You learn why they make the big bucks when you first chance you get to play on one of the top 2 lines. You know why the big boys make the big bucks then. It's heavy lifting.
Icing call here against the Wild with 13:54 remaining here in the third period of play from United Heroes League site here in Hastings.
And you can see, and Milwaukee's picking up the pace a little bit, obviously, which is natural. You're down one a little bit. You're going to start to feel a little bit pressure earlier on in the third to get going. But I like the Iowa. They just bend. They don't break. There has been a single bit of panic whatsoever in their game. I'm not surprised at all with Greg Cronin behind the bench and Benny Simon.
Strathroy on Terry and Hunter Haight now in the corner. Vaulted around for the Winnipeg Manitoban, Carson Lambos. Bad hop though on the clearing attempt as Carr holds the zone. Edstrom at the line, looks towards the net. It got deflected by Carr and wide. And with it is up, go back for Osterley's laser. Loose puck in front. The Wild swatted away from harm.
Great job clearing that puck. Let the goalie make the first save. You get the second save. Well done.
Schaefer in the other way. That one's off the stocking cap of Halavai and up and out of play. And Mark, you won't know this. It's your first Iowa Wild game you've seen in probably a number of years. That's a vintage move by Halavai. He loves to use his melon, amazingly enough. It's a part of his goaltending acumen. As we'll skate our way to a break in the action here with 13:09 to play in the third period in Hastings, the Wild up 1.
Every meal could use that extra something special, and our tasty flavors are a no-brainer. Count on Cookie's award-winning sauces and seasonings to put the extra flavor in quality meats, main dishes, and so much more. It's the grill time, game time, family time, anytime sauce and seasoning that makes every bite better. Find us on the shelves of your favorite grocer now, or find us online at cookiesbbq.com. It's the sauce America loves to eat. And remember, smart cookies use cookies.
We at Carol's Corn are proud to announce that we are the official gourmet popcorn of the Iowa Wild. Receive 15% off your first order when you use promo code IowaWild15. Let's go Wild!
The Iowa Wild has something for everyone. Tickets to a Wild game are more than just tickets to a hockey game. It's an unforgettable experience. Join our family today.
Well, unlucky number 13, minus 13 right now here in Hastings with the wind chill. We're below 20. And it is a frosty, frigid night, but these teams are still dueling. It's a 2-1 game. Ben Gislason with Mark Parrish welcoming you back here to the press box. Luckily, we're heated, and luckily joined by my good buddy and with the FloHockey content team, Chris Peters is with us now. Chris, have you been able to stay warm? I know you had this time in your night circled because you knew you were going to be in the press box where there was heat.
Yeah, it's thankfully this is what I needed. I needed this break. Yeah, no, it's been an incredible atmosphere. I mean, I think it's been amazing to see the way that everything's been put on here. You got to give a lot of credit to the folks at Hockey Day Minnesota. Certainly Hastings as well. Just really a fun game, and boy, I mean, just look at it out here. The guys are obviously having fun. I am very cold, though. I will admit that. I will admit that.
Your pedigree, one as once upon a time an analyst with ESPN. Now you're with FloHockey, but you got a lot of irons and a lot of different fires hockey-wise. You've seen a lot of games. Have you been a part of outdoor games in the past?
I've covered a few of them, both in the NHL and college, and I played on the outside as a kid as well, as so many have. But I do recall one night in Southside Chicago where I grew up where we played minus 40 wind chill. And so this is reminiscent of that, although less pizza and beer, it seems, here.
Respect. Minus 40.
Chance here for Edstrom is deflected high of the net, and the Admirals have drawn a penalty here. As it was Ufko, who we've talked a ton about tonight, Mark, who made his way into the near circle and made an excellent move to the net and drew the high sticking call to Jack Beard.
That's those offensive defensemen. They're so shifty. They can you kind of get confused a little bit when the wingers don't cover them well. All of a sudden, the defenseman's kind of stuck in no man's land, and unfortunately, the Husky goes into the box this time.
Wild trying to make it a perfect 4 for 4 on the kill as we see the high sticking call again. I can only imagine and grimace what that had to feel like in -13 without wind chill weather.
Hopefully that part of the face is numb.
At this point, it might be here in the third. So the Admirals power play, incredibly, first in the league, have not scored yet here tonight. And the broadcaster's curse, that one's off the skate and into the back of the net. And this is a tie hockey game here with 12:17 to play. Oasis Weisblatt able to sneak it in.
What a beautiful setup right from the get-go. Right up top, Kemmel. You're going to see when we come back here, Kemmel throws a little fake shot. He's going to slap the ice, and it freezes the forward right there. Wild try to get back. Is that Kiersted? Matty Kiersted tries to get back, but it's literally just this is a beautiful pass underneath the skate and the shin pad. That is a gorgeous play, well-designed play, power play goal for the Milwaukee Admirals, and time to get back to the work. The Iowa Wild.
Weisblatt's 6th of his season and his 9th. 6 was a power play, 9 being overall here for this Admirals team that is right back in this game. And it's their power play getting it done. Chris, you've been paying keen attention to this team with your role with FloHockey, and this Admirals power play has been something to behold this year.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you're not supposed to be able to make skill plays in the cold like this, and here they go and they do it. I mean, you know, it's amazing. You know, this Admirals team, you've seen them, Benny. I mean, they have a lot of talent up and down their lineup. A lot of guys that will be Nashville Predators in the near future. And it's been a great thing to be able to watch them on Flo all year, and certainly the Iowa Wild as well. And I get to come join you sometimes in the booth,
yes,
and to see these teams. And you know, when you see guys like Hunter Haight and Ryan Sandelin getting involved in the game, and it's always interesting to see where everything goes there. But those guys really have brought it, and yeah, it's been great to see the competitive nature of this game as well.
They bring up future Nashville Predators. You watch that team right now, and you see Admirals players everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's Adam Wilsby as a player that's obviously stepped in there as well, and lots of names that you think back in your time calling Admirals games, you see them starring for the Preds.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, this has been a great development system. You got to give a lot of credit to Carl Taylor as well. I mean, he's been through it for a lot of years, and you know, I think they just do a lot of things the right way. And it's, you know, the Admirals as an organization been around for a long time, and they're always competitive.
Bouncing puck towards the net front. Ratcliffe couldn't bat it out of the air. And adversely, talking about the Iowa Wild, this year Minnesota and Iowa have seen 117 transactions. It's the most in the league by 17 transactions.
Yeah.
The second team is Abbotsford with 100. And Minnesota having a fantastic year, and some of those long sustained stretches of wins they did with a lot of Iowa Wild players in the lineup. So it's a very open freeway right now from Des Moines to St. Paul on Interstate 35.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think, you know, the Wild have a really nice setup with Des Moines being close. And then you also have the Heartlanders in the ECHL as well. And everything's kind of, when guys go up there then Iowa has to replace them too. So they're all over the place. But boy, I mean, I got to say, watching this developmental ladder is special.
Olausen, a couple of chances there. Matt Murray up to the task. Obey Kubel now around the net. He'll twirl it in front, intercepted by Weisblatt. That's off of Smolik's skate, trying to hold the blue line. He does. Great play there from Will. Obey Kubel for Haight at the right circle off the post. Inches from a go-ahead goal. Hunter Haight almost had his second.
Beautiful pass from Obey Kubel right there. Haight just coming right down the main street again. Hits the post. Catches the goalie a little 7-hole, the old armpit hole.
Wild might have got away with one there. That would have been a 3-on-1 rush. Instead, an Admiral gets tripped up, and we'll stay 5-on-5. 9:57 to go here in this 2-2 third period. Should be a thrilling finish. Bouncing puck, nice hand-eye there as Gravel was able to keep it from the dangerous Jerry Mayhew. Gambrell in behind, pops towards the net front, goes off of an Admiral, and then Murray's able to salt it away. Well, that would have been a prototypical outdoor game go-ahead goal, would it not?
Got a little hairy there, eh? Coming right back over the top of the net. That kind of a bounce. And his own demon. Oh! Didn't even see that. Oh, Kevin Gravel. Kevin, what are you doing there? He knew his goalie had it. He was just tapping it to him. It's like, here, you got it. I can't cover 3 left. Well played. Like but like you talked about earlier, Ben, like you nailed it. In this kind of game, in these kind of games, it's going to be something goofy. It's going to be a quirky one that's going to finish it off.
Well, it's been a while since we've checked in with Robert Babiak, who's down rinkside. Robert, what have you been up to since the last time we chatted?
All right, guys. Yeah, I've been hanging out, trying to watch the game. The thermostat here, guys, it's not working. It's colder than that says. But there's been a lot said about today's game from the cold. But things that haven't been brought up, I don't think enough, are your fourth-line grinders who are not going to be playing as much today. They got to keep moving on the bench, getting their legs moving. The other worst-case terrible scenario is if you're the backup goaltender today. They put you in. Talk about coming in cold. But some secrets some guys might be using today to stay a little warmer. Some chicken broth maybe. They have to stay hydrated because while it's cold, guys, you have to make sure you're still drinking the liquids. It's a little dry out here, I gotta be honest with you, but we're having a great time. The training wheels are off. They're letting me talk on camera on my own now. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you guys up in the booth, and I'm going to throw it right back to you.
Yeah, the pleasure's all ours, Robert. What an intrepid report that was between the chicken broth and to his point, it is a worst-case scenario, especially this late in the game. For everybody's sake, especially whether it's Magnus Krona of Milwaukee or Cal Peterson of Iowa, let's hope that Lava and Murray finish tonight.
Oh, yeah, because if I'm one of the shooters on a team and a new goalie comes in, my first shot's going to go right off their big toe. First one, right off the big toe. And look at that. There it's frozen over. I love it. Legit frozen over.
Can't even read it. It's great to see Robert out here with you guys, and it's been great to be with you as well. I mean, this is one of the great experiences of my career, just to see this. This is outdoor hockey the way it's supposed to be played. And boy, what a pleasure it is. So thanks for having me with you guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Chris, it's great to have you with us. And one thing I wanted to ask you about, you got embedded with both of these teams leading into this game. What did you learn about Milwaukee? What did you learn about Iowa in your time creating some great content pieces inside of Milwaukee and inside of Iowa?
I think anytime you get in with these teams at the AHL level, you might not think about process that these guys have to go through to get themselves ready for games, to get themselves ready for practice. They're all pros. They're all pros, and they're guys that are doing their absolute best to try to get to the next level. And they want for nothing as well. So I mean, it's a really great setup both teams have. You have a lot of respect for how they treat their players at the AHL level, and it allows to put them in the best situations going forward.
And going forward, both teams searching frantically for the next goal. It is a 2-2 game here. United Heroes League site in Hastings. And the Admirals have come from behind, down 2 goals in this game. They've erased that deficit. Ryder Volston and Oasis Weisblatt on the board for the Admirals. Hunter Haight and Ryan Sandelin for Iowa. Now here is Haight. Hit the post on his last shift here in the third. Andreas England looking ahead for Reed Schaefer. Schaefer will dive one in deep around the wall for Daniel Carr. Carr's met on the half wall by a gaggle of Wild uniforms. Kicked loose by Haight. Gleason back to get it for the Wild, trying to power his way out from behind the net. Point shot from England. That was a bit of a waffling shot that ended up blockered away.
There, wasn't it?
Looked like standing on the mound.
Oh, Phil Necro. Oh, I aged myself right there, didn't I? Dang it. Billy pull back Johan Santana. Does that still make me old?
I was thinking Tim Wakefield as well. Tim Wakefield, yes.
Dang it, you got a good one.
R.A. Dickey, if you will.
Ooh.
There you go. That's going even later. Yeah.
I hope we're not going to try to keep going, because Tim Wakefield was the only knuckleballer on my roster.
Yeah, R.A. Dickey might be the last one ever, so we'll see.
Having a ton of fun here in Hastings. Ben Gislason with Mark Parrish, former NHLer, and Chris Peters, the content team at FloHockey. Robert Babiak as well, doing a terrific job downstairs.
Killing it out there.
An exciting hire for you guys, I know, at the FloHockey team.
Yeah, we're really pumped to have him.
O'Hara turning. That one's blocked. And Foodie will try to dish it ahead. It's knocked back down in around the net. Halavai there to stop it. DJ King up the wall, turned over. Fanning on it is Gibson. O'Hara's try off of a skate in front.
You got to watch those turnovers at the blue lines, or if you're at Milwaukee Admirals. The turnovers at the blue lines are going to cost the game for somebody tonight.
Caden Bank here ushers it out to center ice, and then he'll lob it in around the end wall. Kierstead at neutral ice. Rushed into by Navrin Mutter, picks back up by Height, and now Osterley looks ahead. Trying to battle it free is Isaac Ratcliffe with 6:45 to go. I'm starting to wonder if there could be an extra 5 minutes in this game. Both teams do have to get on the bus and go to Milwaukee tonight for a game tomorrow. I don't think anybody on the ice wants to go to overtime, although up here, granted we're in a heated press box, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Hey, that's more exciting hockey, but yeah, I can guarantee you every single one of those skaters on the ice does not want to play an extra few minutes tonight.
It would be so fitting. As Riley Height's shot is turned aside by Murray. Ravel down behind the net will dig it free. Looking up the center ice of his own zone, but Marino couldn't track it down. He's got it back. Out of Niagara Falls, Ontario, he'll lurch across the red line and drop it in. Lambeau's back to get it with under 6 to play. Tied up at 2 here in Hastings. In for a photo finish now. Kierstead high into the air. Englund knocks it down. Jackson Nelson towards the net front. Sandelin tipped it off of Murray. Now Smolik's shot blockered away.
Would be awfully fitting if all these Minnesota connections, one of these guys maybe scored the game winner, huh?
That was 3 in a row. Magnolia, Minnesota, Hermantown, Minnesota, and Rochester.
Keep shooting, boys. Keep shooting.
Well, here's the Michigander, Ben Gleason. Tosses it in towards the back wall, leaving it there. Matt Murray. Andreas Englund will shuttle past Gambrell and fire one tape to tape for Joachim Kemmel. He's got a wicked release. Kemmel has a saucer pass land on the near wall. Osterley back for Gibson's drive wide of the net. Again, it's Gibson now at the right point. Down to the half wall, Jake Lucchini towards the net front, and I think Carr just couldn't get his stick on it because his blade was on the ice.
That was a great play, great play. That was a dangerous play right there for the Iowa Wild.
Speaking of danger, here's Jerry Mayhew, leading goal scorer in franchise history. Gambrell blisters one wide. Kierstead's got it into the corner. Will roll around the wall. Wild wanted a penalty there. They won't get one. Looking in front now for Gambrell. He was tied up. And partner, I think you thought that was a penalty too.
I thought it was one too. My arm went up. I don't know why the refs didn't. It's like they don't listen to me up here either.
Unfortunately for Iowa, that's the arm that matters.
Yeah. Dang it. Can we just throw a Blaze Orange stripe on here? See what happens?
Plenty of Blaze Orange in the building. I'm sure we could borrow if you wanted to get your hands on one. Under 4 to play. Careening towards overtime here. Minus 13 temperatures. Tied up at 2. Smolik off the glass. Ralston onto his backhand. He's run over on the neutral zone forecheck by Riley Height.
He does it. Riley does such a good job just staying involved when he's on the ice. You just notice him in every shift. He gets involved in the play, and that's really what you're looking to see out of some of these young guys. How involved do they want to get into the game?
He's one of the most offensively involved players in the WHL when he was in Prince George. Here comes Jones back in, but Aube-Kubel was offside on the far side of the ice. Then Jones tried to fire it, and it hit Ufko in the skate.
Remember
after the whistle.
Those laces?
And I can only imagine Ufko just thinking, really?
Oh, you can see him right now, too.
Geez,
I'm telling you, right off the there's no padding there. None. Oh.
Well, at that, we'll make our way to a break in the action. Chris Peters, definitely want to say a big thanks to you for stopping by and for all you guys have done to make this broadcast possible and all broadcasts possible in the American Hockey League this season.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure. Great to be with you guys. And like I said, just a great pleasure to be part of this game.
That's Chris Peters with the content team at FloHockey. We're getting down to the wire here on Friday night, 2-2 with 3:17 to play. Hockey Day, Minnesota, the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic.
I can get this all done this week. Probably.
Oh, I broke this. But, personally, I don't think bad luck is real, so I wouldn't worry. You wouldn't happen to have a first aid kit, would you? Do you have a fire extinguisher? What if you guys... let me just slide that right in there. Bad luck is real.
We're here when you need us. That's why West Shore is America's most trusted home remodeler.
How's it going?
West Shore Home. Remodeling reimagined.
We at Carol's Corn are proud to announce that we are the official gourmet popcorn of the Iowa Wild. Receive 15% off your first order when you use promo code IowaWild15. Let's go Wild!
Over the last several years, we've been growing our Community Rinks program in local communities. What the program provides is really an opportunity for these communities to bring out kids and families and allow them to skate and play hockey on local rinks for free.
Crash Course is a Try Hockey for Free program. It's just an opportunity to learn the sport for the first time and learn the fundamentals of hockey. Every single time the kids get off the ice, they're always fist bumping and saying how much fun they had and they don't want to leave.
Now, Ben Gislason, a native Minnesotan. Mark Parrish, native Minnesotan. We were talking about how Minnesotans might be a little wacky. Case in point.
Yeah. You nailed it. I got nothing else. That comment was perfect. No notes.
Incredible. Incredible. We are a wacky bunch because we love this game so much. We will brave the elements, and some people will even take their shirts off here.
Gotta love it. That man's a lot tougher than I am.
Just incredible. And now a little more bundled up crew there, although that's just a sweatshirt on that guy there.
Man, I tell you, everybody, I must be getting such bigger wimp when I get older here. So I just more and more layers. Give them to me. Walk around with a comforter on if I could.
Well, it is a place where the game is cherished so greatly. It's called the state of hockey for a reason. There's a reason Hockey Day in Minnesota has thrived here so incredibly over the course of now 20 seasons. It became known to the world back in 2007 up at Baudette Bay, Lake of the Woods in St. Paul Johnson, an outdoor high school hockey game. Great look at the center ice logo there, Hockey Day Minnesota. Plenty of festivities, of course, tomorrow here as well. As Joachim Kemmel flashes away, he's got a chance to win it. Stop made by Halavai. A good shoulder stop by the Slovakian.
Way out as an angle again. Way outside the paint, taking out all that angle. That's the size he is. I don't know if he can even see any net when he's taking out that much angle. Great work.
A towering 6'4", 240.
That's a big man.
And as a barrel of a chest, just wide, really wide. Used it there.
Perfect.
Obey Kubel surfing in. Late arriver, it's Lambos and a save from Murray. Kierstead looking for Obey Kubel. All the pace freshening here deep in the game. As we talked about, these teams want to end it before overtime. Kierstead for Gleason. His point shot skips wide. Kemmel goes to get it. And he'll hit pause behind the net of Matt Murray with 2:20 remaining here before regulation closes.
And this is about, like you said, this is about the time where it starts to amp up. Everybody looks up at the clock and says, this might be my last shift. Or hopefully this is my last shift and I'm going to score the goal.
Weisblatt looking cross ice for Reed Schaefer. He'll barrel towards the blue line and then cut back. Blowing a tire with Smolik into the corner. Schaefer leaving it for Daniel Carr. Molendijk now opens up and got his shot blocked by Jerry Mayhew. He harbors it to center ice where it's intercepted by the Kamloops British Columbian, and Molendijk will drop it in with 1:45 to play.
It's amazing how many times it gets stuck along the boards in these big moments, last couple minutes of the game, and it just gets stuck on the wall.
Molendijk at the right point. Ushering his way down the wall with under 90 to play in regulation. Here's Schaefer. He winds and blasts, and that one was gloved down by Halavai. Well, if there were rafters in this building, Schaefer's stick might have almost clipped him there.
That was the ultimate back scratcher, is what we like to call those right there. That was, he reached up on that, and boy, if I had a slap shot like that, I'd be doing that all the time too.
Well, a player worth highlighting. We've talked about him a lot here tonight, Mark, and Ryan Ufko. He, much like Hunter Haight, is the representative for this Admirals team. Made his NHL debut with the Preds back in April of last season, and I'd imagine Andrew Brunette, Darby Hendrickson, guys with Minnesota Wild ties on the bench for Nashville are licking their chops at getting him into the lineup here soon.
I'm sure they're asking about asking for updates on him constantly. You can see what he brings to the table and what he can add to a team. Once he's ready for the NHL, you know those guys are going to be grabbing him.
Well, and you think you'd imagine the things that they're hoping he can really season in his game defensively. It seems clear the offense is there, and the American League is very much a refinement school for defensemen in a lot of ways.
Well, it's a lot harder for defensemen to break in as rookies. It really is. It's just harder to learn that game. Us offensive guys, we get to cheat. They don't get to cheat.
45 clicks remaining here in the third. Overtime looming here at the Iowa Wild Outdoor Classic at Hockey Day, Minnesota. England at neutral for Osterley. He'll dish it ahead for Jake Lucchini, former Iowa Wild centerman. Obey Q-Bell will rush ahead across the blue line and hold up with 15 to go in regulation. Hunter Haight now trying to spill his way around Andreas Englund. He lost it, and then losing his footing was Zach LaRue. 4 seconds to play, and the Wild will have to wait a little bit longer for the refreshment of heat inside of their locker room as this one is headed to overtime.
Why, you know, it makes it that much better. It makes it that much more memorable. Got to play a little bit more hockey. Got to dig down a little bit. Nothing wrong. These kids can handle that.
With that, we'll head to our Bugman Pest of the Game partner. I know this was one you were looking forward to all game long. And Kyle Marino, who has been a pest all of his career, did some pesky things tonight for the Admirals.
Like take out Halavai. Well, for one, I was surprised that one didn't get called. Yeah, and he got away with it. That officially makes you the pest of the game. When you can take out the opponent goalie and not get called for it. And I tell you what, partner, you nailed it. You told me before the game it was good, and you were right. It was Kyle Marino. I love it.
Yeah, led the horse to water on that one. Figured he might factor in that moment, him or Zach LaRue. We didn't get to see Mark Lewinsky for the Iowa Wild, who's won that award a few times in Iowa Wild broadcasts this season. Well, if you're new to overtime in the American Hockey League, no different than overtime in the National Hockey League. It'll be 3-on-3. You will have sudden death overtime. Next goal wins. If we don't get a decision in overtime, we will head to a best-of-3 shootout. But I've always been a fan, and the shootout is a good way to end the game because it means you don't have a tie, and I'm with that. But there is a difference in a shootout winner and an overtime winner, isn't there, Mark?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Shootout winner is a relief. Overtime winner, that's enthusiasm. That's exuberant. It's a way different story. And, yeah, it's very fitting because I remember the very first Hockey Day Minnesota when I was playing for the Minnesota Wild. We were playing against Dallas, and it went to a shootout. And Marty Turco loved to remind me how much he stopped the Minnesota boy on Hockey Day Minnesota. He's like, yeah, I might have known it was a big day for you, so I might have focused a little hard. But I whiffed. I had him beat anyway.
The Admirals 6-2 this 6-2 in overtime this season. The Wild are 2 for 3 in overtime. Of the 8 losses Iowa has had in the month of January, 7 have been by 1 goal. I'm not sure they can stomach one more 1-goal loss because those hit you harder than any others.
So, because you're just so close. You know you're doing so many things right. You're playing well enough to win a game. You're just not able to get over that hump. Win this face-off and go pull it out there for us, Iowa Wild.
Next goal wins. Gambrell with Jones and Kierstead. Lucchini with LaRue and Ufko. The Admirals control the opening face-off. And we'll see who's got the next one. And a Let's Go Wild chant starting to reverberate throughout the building here. And an Admirals chant right back in concert as Lucchini steps in and Halavai stops it, although he wasn't quite sure where it was.
Oh, no, I don't think he was certain he had it under him. I think he was very, those are the moments when you go, you're looking for the demon to come stop right next to you. You don't want him to go diving by you. Then you know you have it if they stop next to you. You see right on the, oh, he just got down just in time. For a big goalie like that, to drop that, that's where you're going for a big guy. You're looking at the 5 holes. It's tough for them to get down that quick. Halavai doesn't have much trouble getting down to that quick.
Kierstead back in behind his own net.
The patience game that the overtime has become, and it's how it should be played.
Times it looks a bit like a soccer match.
It does, it does. I kind of do like Gretzky's thoughts on it, maybe not letting him go across the red line, but we're micromanaging. I think we got a game. The game's in awfully good shape right now.
You do wonder if anything will change on that at some point. Edstrom now will lob it ahead for Milwaukee. Daniel Carr in for the Admirals. A drop pass, Osterley. 3:49 to go in overtime. Here's Daniel Carr looking back door, but Edstrom was tied up. Gambrell will scoop it up. Out of his reach, though, as Osterley gets to it first and bumps it back to Matt Murray with 3:36 remaining in overtime.
We'll finally be able to get a line change here, get some fresh legs.
Great move, Zach LaRue, he's in, he scores. He went all the way in and seals it in overtime. Zach LaRue, the game winner, and it's a frosty finish here in Hastings.
Well, I was completely wrong about it being kind of a boring goal that was going to end it, because that was beautiful. That was a gorgeous goal by a young man. LaRue right there, just old school NHL 2 power move. He goes outside, puts his left shoulder down, drives to that far post, and if you can beat to that goalie to the far post, that's what you're rewarded with an empty net. You can see right here, that outside in lowers that shoulder, gets to that far post before Halavai, before the defenseman is able to win this game with a beautiful goal for the Milwaukee Admirals.
Oh, a sensational finish for Zach LaRue. His 10th of the season as he went all the way in and sealed off the night. The teams will shake hands here to close out our game. Usually only seen in playoffs, but for a spectacle like this, deserving of two teams that really battled it out in the elements here tonight.
We say this probably too often, but it's unfortunate there was a losing night. Both teams played very, very good. And again, you just go back to the professional hockey just kicks you when you're down. It's so hard to dig yourself out. It's just going to get harder. It's just going to get harder. But you know what? You focus on the process. Eventually, it's going to flip, and when it flips, they'll go on a run.
Well, the Admirals are able to snap their 3-game skid. The Wild lose their 9th straight. Admirals did have a 9-game losing streak of their own back in December. And the thing, I touched on it right at the beginning of overtime, that is the 8th 1-goal loss of those 9 losses. Just heartbreak around every corner for the Wild right now.
And you look back at the end of the season, those are the games you're looking like, man, if we could have just found a way to win maybe half those, we get to the playoffs. You know, and it can be a frustrating year that way, but you know what? This is where you learn how to be a pro. This is where you learn your lessons as a professional hockey player, where you learn how to work your way through a drought.
All the teams here standing and getting set to take some post-game photos to commemorate what has been obviously a memorable day for every reason imaginable. The weather, the scenery here, the game which went to overtime and ended 3-2, which by the way is my favorite scoreline. Also, I should mention Scott Howson.
He nailed it.
AHL president and CEO. He said, what's the prediction? He said 3-2. He doesn't know who's going to get the win. And he got it exactly right.
Absolutely
well done, Scott.
Nailed it, Don. Thank you for remembering that. Great job, Scott. So now I know why you're in charge.
Exactly. People like that know a thing or two about the game, and Scott Howson certainly does. A look there at the winning team, the Milwaukee Admirals, who get their 17th win of the season. By the way, they hadn't scored in 6 periods coming into the game, make it 7 as they were blanked in the first frame. So they were able to get back on the score sheet tonight and get back in the win column. Something for these Admirals. They're not used to being in this spot. They've been in the playoffs every year since 2017-18, and they're trying to get back into a playoff spot right now after they've fallen from 2nd place back in November down to 6th. So this could be something that helps them along as Zach LaRue seals the game in overtime. And it looks like Robert Babiak is getting set down rinkside. He's with the captain of the Milwaukee Admirals, Kevin Gravel. Robert.
How's it feel today? The game's over. It's all wrapped up. The excitement. You guys pulled the win off. How's it all feel?
Yeah, it's great. You know, obviously not the start we were looking for there, but I thought we did a great job sticking in it. This was awesome. Like, you look around, like, yeah, it's cold, but I mean, it was so much fun. You know, you don't ever get to do this, so it was just an awesome experience.
And how was the game different than your average game? Now that you're all done here, can you give us like a recap insider for the fans to know how it really felt and played?
Yeah, it was a little bit, you know, a little bit more simplified in terms of what you're trying to do on the ice. Obviously, it's pretty chilly out here for everybody, so you just try to kind of simplify it. Pucks are bouncing a little bit more. It's cold. The pucks are more cold than normal, so. But you just try to embrace it all. There's nothing you can do about it. You have fun, and like I said, this was so awesome. It was so much fun. Awesome to get a win, but awesome just to be able to experience this.
Well, I don't need to ask this question. It looks like you did have fun. Everybody, we are all done. I hope everybody enjoyed the fun time we had today, and you can see it. They're wearing it on their face. It was cold.
Thanks, Robert, and thanks to Kevin Gravel for parking some time there. Robert Babiak doing an outstanding job in his FloHockey debut today down rinkside. I'm sure he's as happy as everybody down there is to find a place with a heater right now. That's where he'll be headed. But there's Zach LaRue, scored the game-winning goal for the Admirals in overtime, a 3-2 finish. Myself, Mark Parrish, back to recap the night. We'll get a special guest joining us here from the Iowa Wild, and Allie Kornick, Vice President of Business Operations, and then we'll close out our night here on FloHockey in Hastings.